Tom and Dan to tell you about Tom and Dan watering holes. What the hell are you doing with your life? You could be out enjoying a lot of our bar partners all across the state of Florida, all across the nation, really.
Yeah, and every watering hole has a Tom and Dan watering holes plaque that's displayed somewhere in their bar, around the bar.
Kitchen, I don't know.
If you find it, shoot us a hashtag Tom and Dan watering holes, and we'll give you a prize. Like everybody who is at a watering hole and then shows us, we'll send you something.
It's the same thing. Just let us know. Use the social media. We got so many watering holes. You want me to give us a rundown?
Yep.
Toll Road Brewing, Hourglass. You know those guys.
Toll Road in Ocoee, too.
Ocoee, Bug Nutty, Cafe Da Vinci, Johnny's Other Side, the Western Trading Company, Celery City Craft, Brew Tap House, Tactical Hat. He's a person. Didn't need to read that one. Tuffy's Bottle Shop. There's always shows going on. This isn't just a pop in, get a beer, and pop out. Tuffy's is a full-blown venue. Cafe Da Vinci, full-blown venue.
Yeah, you have to, West End.
Full-blown venue.
Yeah, they constantly do shows there. And, of course, like Bug Nutty and Coco, if swing by there. They have Tom and Dan pint glass koozies that you can get for free, and that tells them that you heard this, and you're going to swing by Bug Nutty, Toll Road, all of
Road's new, and they have really, really delicious beers.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So please take a picture of our plaque. Let us know. We'll send you a prize. It's Tom and Dan Watering Holes, tomanddanwateringholes.com. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Our producer, Samantha, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello. Wow, that startled me. That was like a speed intro.
Yeah, you came in fast, man.
That Adderall hit.
Yeah. When it slaps, there's no stopping it.
Oklahoma Stackhouse is here.
Hey!
What's going on?
Hey, the Stackhouse that is Oklahoma, or just a band. Do you guys consider yourself rock and roll band, ska band, fun, party time band? What do you classify yourselves as?
Southern tropical rock.
Southern tropical rock.
But I also like fun time party band. I think that also
that kind of
I think of you guys as being like a band, like a jack of all trades band. Like you can kind of be at any type of party. Street party, a festival. There could be playing in your living room. You're going to have a good time. You guys are like a fun band.
How many
Definitely a living room band.
We talked about this on Twitch
before Andrew showed up because he's
late.
Isn't he the professional of the three?
I thought he's a lawyer, right?
He's a lawyer. Yeah.
Lawyers. Nick.
And what we know about lawyers is they get to a point where they've earned enough money where they come and go as they please because they've earned that right to be King Dickhead, right? Like I feel like we know a lot of lawyers, and they don't really. They pretty much tell us what to do, right?
Yeah.
God, I aspire to be King Dickhead. I cannot. I don't think I've reached it yet. I'm probably like a junior.
With those
dickhead.
sunglasses, you're on your way. You were on your way.
So, you guys were talking about out of the whole band, you guys maybe are the least musically talented, but you're the talkers and the lawyers, so you don't need to know
the talkers. You need the lawyers.
But it got me to think because the last time we were on stage with you guys, we were introducing Buddy Dyer, and then I was like, God. Oklahoma Stackhouse has a lot of members.
They had like 500 members. You had three older black lady backup singers. You had horns.
Yep.
You had
how many members are in the band? Because it got me thinking, and I'll talk to lawyer here because I was like, man, you guys have to split a lot of the gig money.
Yeah, right.
35 members of the band.
Everybody's making like $6.
Well, first off, I'd like to say that if they said they're the least musically talented in the band, that's just for them. I am clearly the most musically talented in the band. But yeah, also, we don't make a lot of money. I think that's what you're getting at. It's really an easy strategy. We just don't make anything. If you've got a job that is not music in the band, then you don't get paid from the band. It's pretty much
okay, gotcha. That's
like our guys that are full-time musicians. They get their cut because that's their life, And but if for the lawyers and the mortgage brokers and the heart technicians.
Heart technicians.
I'm a catheter boy.
Catheter boy.
That is his formal title.
Yes,
catheter boy. Disgusting.
Catheter boy.
But we basically just save it for trips and CDs and vinyl and whatever we're gonna do. So.
Oh man, I feel like we've depressed him.
That's what you have to.
Look at Jack's looking
That's his
down.
low energy Jeb voice.
This is our
Yeah.
it's a tough sell. We're like, hey, do you want to come play with a huge group? We have so many songs to learn, and the pay is mediocre at best. You really got to want to be involved.
It's a creative passion.
Yeah.
Here's what I like about having a bunch of people in the band, besides from the making no money part, is that
More people to sleep with after the gig, right? Like you want the backup singer wander to your Airstream.
And no,
That's true.
If you mess up, everybody else will pick up your slack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and there's so much going on. It's
You
like
just don't even play.
That really is, if you screw up, you just stop. That's what.
pretend. I used to do that.
Harder for drums, though. If
Harder
you're like,
for me.
Yeah.
harder for
yeah,
drums
yeah.
to maintain. Like bass, I feel like you can lean over to the keyboard player and say, like, "I'm freaking out, man." Like,
Just play the bass
a little
part.
more left hand, please.
We've
You
got
know,
a percussionist and a drummer. He's even you are.
Yeah, there's
expendable.
even times where it's like, yeah, I'm just, maybe I've had too many beers and need to just chill out. I don't think it ever
I
happened.
need some
but-
chill out time,
but,
man. I'm not getting paid to do this.
I'll let Kevin go play the drums and stuff. There's a couple of songs I don't like to play. Most of them Andrew wrote, and I'm just like, I don't want to.
I like that.
Do you
Well,
play the
this-
10-minute blues jam? I'm gonna go get a beer.
The sappy songs.
Well, this
All the love songs are Andrew's. Yeah.
it brings up an interesting question because this happened to me when I used to play in a goof band. I don't know if you'd ever
Yeah.
know about it.
You were one
So-
of the. I'd say you're probably one of the most popular members of said goof band.
I
Right?
didn't know that was a genre. Goof band?
Yeah, goof band.
Oh, yeah, it's big.
We rode. We had none bigger than us for a hot minute.
So there would be some times on stage where I was either too drunk.
Oh no, what happened?
Or I just forget the actual parts of, and then I just stop playing and pretend. And it seemed like no one at all noticed.
they didn't
right?
care.
Even the band itself didn't notice. So
Didn't care.
I was like, man, I bet this happens a lot with a lot of bands. Like people just forget the song, and then you just stop and pretend to play, and no one will notice.
We were talking about this at practice the other day because Jack, it's a fun story about Jack. Now, these days, he doesn't do it because he's so on point. But like when we first started the band, we'd start a song, we'd do the intro, and then Jack would be about to go up to the mic and start singing. It was like the fake out. He'd go up and be like, "Oh shit, I don't know the words," and then just dip back out again.
Oh God! So then, what happens at that? Like you remembers, you looking at your phone.
Usually Andrew's trying to mouth the words.
I can just
it ends
look
up being like a
over,
10-minute
if I know I'm
extended
gonna
intro.
forget, I can look over and Andrew's like, I'm like, cool.
No, yeah, you just need to start.
You need
right?
someone to remember.
Yeah.
Because once you start, you rehearse so much that it just kicks in. You're like, oh, that's
Have you guys ever done the thing where you start and then it just completely falls apart? Because I love those, especially when I'm watching them live and I'm
Never.
like, oh, look at these guys.
That's gonna be the most embarrassing,
Oh,
right?
it feels terrible.
We 100%. I don't know when the last time we did
Or
it,
when
but
you
it
start
is-
rushing, or when the drummer is completely on, and everybody's going, and you have that moment
pump the
where
brakes.
your band sounds like it's falling downstairs. Oh God, that's a horrible feeling.
We had someone ask us to cover what was that Nirvana song? Smells Like Teen
God.
Spirit.
That was-
and
that was-
someone.
Lord, who was this person? 150 years old? Who asked that?
It was like a teenager. It was
A
like
teenager?
a 16, 17-year-old
This
kid.
is in Vero
A teenager at an Oklahoma Steakhouse show asking for Nirvana? This
Yeah,
person was a ghost.
Anyway,
Vero Beach.
here's the ska version of "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Oh, that's
was
kind of
really
fun.
bad.
It was horrible.
But no, we didn't. We knew
didn't know
one
it.
person knew half the riff, and that was it. And we tried for 2 to 3 minutes, and then it just completely fell apart.
There's not a lot. There's not a ton to that song either.
no,
We just
no,
didn't-
And so the fact that you guys couldn't get through it is kind of disappointing.
I mean, we got through a version of it,
But it was bad. Oh man, I love it. Man, playing in all the bands I played in, there's nothing that hurts worse than when you just hear it. And I would always be the last thing you hear. It's just like a snare or like.
I think that's the thing too. We had just enough to drink that we were confident enough to think
Yeah,
we could
we-
do
yes,
it,
we
but
can
not
do this.
sober enough
We
to
can get tricked into that.
actually be able to do it.
100%.
And yeah.
So what's been going on with you guys? You brought us CDs today.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got an album release party coming up.
Yeah.
And you one of those, Sam? You got one of these here?
Oh God! Oh,
It's
Oh my God!
got it.
These things fly wonderfully. My Jesus.
CD. Where am I going to play this? Are you crazy?
that is actually a real question. So many people are like, "I don't have a CD player in my car.
I honestly don't.
I have no way to
Right.
listen."
I don't have. I don't even. Any of the machines in here are so new that I can't even burn this for my own enjoyment.
Burn? What does that mean?
right?
CDs are really cheap right now, and like vinyl's all expensive.
Yeah,
so
is.
in like 10 years, this will come back and
Everything's going to be back in style. Let's be real.
That's true. You're planning on the future here.
Yeah.
So
This will be a collector's item in 10 to 20 years.
let's talk about the album release. It's April 22nd. It's at Tuffy's Music Box, which is a great venue, by the way.
Yeah, go check it out. Sanford's on fire with awesome venues now. And if you haven't been to Tuffy's, it's like so many different bar incarnations in one. You got to go check out the Music Box.
So obviously, people can get this on your website. Is this going to be available on Spotify? All that stuff.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just CD.
Yeah, and it's kind of just background on the album. It's been 3 years in the making.
3
I think.
years.
Wow.
We've been working on this ever since we put out our last like 2 singles, and so we recorded it in Orlando near Lake Underhill with our buddy Jason Woods. It's got 11 songs on it, so there's quite a bit of material on there.
Nice.
And the same day we release it, it'll be available on Spotify, iTunes, any sort of digital platform, and the album's called OK.
I love it.
I
Here,
wonder.
I'll hold it up so everybody can see it.
So let's talk about like CDs.
Oh, you talking about Jason Woods from Groove Soaps?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
They made a soap for us.
Look at that music
I
detective.
actually think I got your soap. I love his soap.
Groove
good.
Soaps and True Sound Recording Studio.
I did not know that.
Don't talk about it. We don't put any. Those are all separate entities. We will not weave them together. So that's awesome, y'all. Very cool.
So obviously, as things evolve, and like you were joking around about CDs and not existing anymore, well, that will be definitely the case in like 10 years, or like where it'll nearly be impossible to even find a CD player. I still have one in my truck actually, but I imagine that they'll stop even putting them in vehicles.
They
You know what
probably
sucks is
stopped
I have
already.
one
Yeah,
car
yeah.
that has one, but it's not even a convenient one. It's not a single disc. It's a goddamn changer. So I have to
CD
go in
changer.
I have to go in the glove box.
My CD changer's underneath my passenger seat.
I like that. My gun's under there. Like any good
And then
Floridian.
what's in there stays in there. It's just like a permanent thing. I'm not going to go.
It's a time capsule from whenever you
Yeah.
last did it. Yeah.
So, like, people would release albums, and I'm not sure if this is the case, but I imagine the number of songs and length of the album was directly associated with how much information could fit on a record or CD, right? Because there was a actual
45 minutes, I think. On a
Well, some people like
45s and 33s and stuff like that.
I never knew. Like some people would push the limit. You know, like you had bands like Guns N' Roses that would do double albums, and they push like 75 minutes of content per album. And then you had other bands like punk bands, like you have like Bad Brains put in an album that's like 16 minutes long, and I'd be like, well, what are you supposed
there's
to
20
do?
songs on it, so-
Yeah, like what are you supposed to do here? But I think you're right. I think it was.
But there's a limit
There
to
was a
how
limit.
much actual audio you could put on a CD.
But based on fidelity quality, I think that changed. So let's say if you wanted a higher form of fidelity, it might be less time. You see what I'm saying? Because what they're the ones and zeros that they're putting into the CD might be, I don't know, less compressed, more of them.
So I think like the CD time, like an hour, so you have 15 2-minute songs, or they were the half an hour. Anyway, that was the limit, and people kind of stayed around there. I wonder in the future if people are going to release longer. I guess it's all by song.
It's all for sure, though, because we've talked about this. I think some bands still put out albums, but the thing is people, you need a constant stream of content, right? I'm
So
sure you
people
guys
are
use
putting
that.
out EPs
So
and
people put out singles and 4 songs because you can. This took 3 years, right? So for 3 years, we didn't have anything to put out new other than live footage.
So now it's just going to be songs and like maybe a couple songs here, like it just constant a stream.
It does take away the way an album hits, though.
Exactly.
I will say that, like, and this isn't to say it's good or bad. So don't take anything that I'm saying with me saying like I liked it better one way or the other.
All right, so Dan personally is saying.
Well, just like if you take like big artists, John Mayer, Casey Musgraves, like probably none bigger than that. You'd get like single, and then when they go to release their album, you're kind of like,
I heard half of these.
all this
yeah.
other stuff you're putting on here. These are your B-sides. I can feel it.
And it's always the best songs that come out as the single.
Correct.
So you go back and you're like, oh, this song's cool. Or is it because you've already heard it and there's that familiarity?
So
Or it's
I
usually
think
the
it's
close
the
one.
psychology behind the entire. If you're like me and you like the putting on the album and just kind of going through it, it's different. Like it's very, very different for me now as a music consumer, and I'm not sure I fit into the single EP category.
No, the album.
And you have to like actively try not to listen to any singles that come out if you want to have.
If
that
you want the
experience.
album to speak
And
to
it's
you,
hard
right?
to.
That's a good point.
And like if you kind of make an analogy to a stand-up comedian, it's like the stand-up comedian has been like, they work on material for X amount of years, and they come out with a special
set
of worked on material, and it's like, all right, here's the hour that I've worked on for, and then it's like
it's their set. It's a complete package.
Like the last time we saw Mark Maron, we watched his set, and then when his special came out, it was the exact same set. I saw all this.
Right.
I saw it live.
That's how it usually works.
Exactly it.
And so for a band, I imagine there's something to be said about like, hey, here is a culmination of 2 years of work that we worked on, and here it is, and now I'm moving on to the next.
I can't wait to move on.
Yeah,
Jack's been over this album, bro.
You can feel that a little bit. I hope you don't take that as
so go to the album release party. It'll be great.
You're like, oh God, thank God we're getting this out.
Yeah, move on. I'm ready for the fourth.
They're going to be great songs.
Have we told the Steve-O story with this album yet?
No.
God, still.
I'll let
So
you tell this.
just like everything that could go wrong in this album has gone wrong. We booked our initial CD release show was at the Plaza, and we booked it there. Not to speak ill of the Plaza, I think it was an accidental thing, but they ended up double booking us with Steve-O from Jackass.
I saw that he was going to the Plaza,
and the way
that was our date.
The way,
God, you guys should have tased your balls harder.
we tried. We sent some videos. We're like, but we can do this stuff. But it was hilarious because we booked the date, and then we're like booking our opening bands and putting together the show, and then one of the opening bands texts us and goes, "Hey, we're free for that date, but it looks like Steve-O's playing. Are we doing with him? Is this like a?"
It always looks good.
You're opening for Steve-O.
It always looks good too when the bands you're trying to book are seemingly have more knowledge of the venue. Oh my
That's
God, this is so
100%
Tom and Dan. It hurts.
Yeah.
This is exactly something I would do.
We're like, well, what? And then we looked it up, and sure enough, they're like, oh, we haven't heard from you in like a month. So we just kind of went ahead. And happens all the time. We're like,
happens all the time.
we just went ahead and booked someone else on your date.
But they're better. I mean, it's Steve-O guy.
I mean, to be fair, yeah.
I mean,
he's going to
no ill will towards Steve-O, although we would appreciate it if our music could be featured prominently in the next Jackass movie.
Okay.
There will be. It would just be all squares fair.
Yeah, I like that.
So did they just say, too bad? Like Steve-O's taking it?
That was basically what they said, and I tried to politely argue with them, and then
We're your lawyers. Come
on!
You send them those papers.
You send him the papers.
at the end of the day, we were like, "Do we want to play the Plaza again?" Yes. So let's be nice about this and just.
Oh man, you really let them slap you in the face with their.
It's all right.
Just saying.
I think the
Plaza.
Toughies release is going to be awesome. So I was actually kind of. And also, the Plaza had like a contract in it, or the Hard Rock did, and we landed a show at the Hard Rock.
Oh yeah, we ended up playing the Hard Rock. At the time, we would be playing the Plaza show.
Honestly, everything ended up perfect.
Yeah. And I like Tuffy's Music Box venue only because, like,
intimate, dude.
Well, also you just walk out into awesome their Tuffy's like courtyard.
That's the best.
So you don't. Not to say
it gives you some room. Yeah.
It's like you just walk out to the bar and you hang out the rest of the night. Is all right there. So
well, Tuffy's Music Box is certainly more of an experience, and there's more to offer there as far as like food, drink, multiple bars, multiple street parties, and music. So it's a better choice.
Also,
more
it's
intimate
got the built-in crowd aspect, right? So like the Plaza's awesome, and venues like that are cool.
But no one's wandering.
Yeah, you're going there for that show.
Correct.
People will be going to Tuffy's just because it's a Friday night. So we'll get that.
Yeah, and there's good energy and people that just want to come out. They don't even know what they want to hear, but it's probably going to be you guys. You know what I mean? Like I always like that. I always like the idea of like, let us win you over with some fun. So
that brings up a good point.
That's the next album name. Let us win you over with some fun.
Because I feel like
don't use that. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible.
In this day and age, because the internet offers all information everywhere, like I feel like everybody plans out their night exactly because the internet tells you.
My wife looks at the menu with the restaurants we go to, and she's like, "This is the appetizer we're getting." I'm like,
while you're eating lunch, probably.
Jesus.
But it offers less ability to just pop in a show you might not otherwise go to.
That's
which
true.
Tuffy's like, if you're at Tuffy's bar and then you're like, oh, Oklahoma Stackhouse is playing tonight. Like, I'll just go in there and see them. Like, I miss
Takes
that
the pressure off.
Like no one does that with movies. I feel like back in the day, people used to do that with movies. Like, just go to the movie theater and just go see a movie without knowing anything about it and stuff. Like, it's a cooler experience going into something or experiencing a band that you've never seen before. It's like people should do that more often instead of like, I only see the band.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Basically, you're describing what Sam's favorite hobby is.
Yeah,
just like
that's great.
She'll just wander by. What's that? Walk in. Oh, I've never seen this band before.
I went on a whole cruise ship with a bunch of bands I didn't know.
Well, I guess you're still that situation. You're stuck on a cruise ship with bands playing all the time.
She just likes musical hiking. You know, you hike through Sanford, you find a band, you stand, you take a picture of it like it's a bird, a rare bird, and on to the next, on to the next band.
Yeah. And you can do it in Sanford. That's what's kind of like, it's not Austin, but like that's what Austin's like. You're walking down, it's like band.
Yeah.
And it's cooler in that way than I think downtown Orlando, because like you've got tank race downtown Orlando, you've got some places you can see that, but at downtown Sanford, it's like every venue's got some music
like
going on.
I really enjoyed and we have a project sort of near this place, but that Ellen's Wine Bar has like a jazz guitarist that if you just want to get into like being present and just sitting and chilling out, it's just amazing to sit out there with the weather the way it's been recently, and you just sit outside and just enjoy Florida a little bit with music. It's phenomenal. But
I need to get to Ellen's. Ellen's sounds delightful.
Oh yeah, try it right next to an arcade too. Mild and Wild.
The album's called Okay. Again, Oklahoma Stackhouse. The release party April 22nd at Tuffy's Music Box. And you can find
they got Cat Ridgway and the Taurus and Gary Laser Eyes opening.
We do.
Awesome.
Really
both
good.
of those bands. Yeah. Cat is the only band we've ever booked for 5 years and never seen her play. Because of the pandemic.
She was supposed to play
one of our events.
And technically, I think she
the
did.
weekend the NBA shut down. We were going to do a BDM party, and she was going to play that event. And then we're like, all right, we'll postpone it for 2-3 months. It'll be good. They said it was going to blow over. The heat will go.
It's been so long. She changed her name to Hairless Cat Ridgway. It's not even funny. It's not funny.
I think it's a Sphinx in the Ridgeway.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Guys, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it. And you can find everything at your website.
OklahomaStackhouse.com.
OklahomaStackhouse.com. We'll take a quick...
up.
Don't ever talk over me. Do you guys want to come back in or not? I'm serious. All right. Well, quiet. Stop. We'll be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Remember, BDM Appreciation Week is next week, so sign up to win prizes or possibly win prizes. And make sure your address is correct.
Indeed. And if you change your address or anything at tomanddan.com, it does ask you to re-enter your credit card information. That's for your safety and just to make sure everything is on the up and up. First email, Sam.
Speaking of BDM Appreciation Week, this is a grateful fan email.
All right.
Good morning, Tom, Dan, and Sam. A couple days ago, you requested that we left a voicemail expressing what being a BDM meant to us. I can't figure out the voicemail on the app yet, LOL. But while I do not participate in the BDM groups on Facebook, I deleted Facebook, so you can leave that out. Which a lot of people have done recently.
Most people have just taken the route of getting rid of social media, and that could be a better option for a lot of people.
I've pulled back from it. I know a lot of friends have pulled back from it. It's just easier, you know.
You can do it. Your life may be better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or not change at all.
It's like
just keep it for the BDM group.
Well, it's like anything else, right? You know, fast food, when it's needed, it can be very convenient and great, right? But if you eat it every single day, it ain't good for you. And we know that. It's the same thing. Same thing.
It says, I did upgrade my BDM membership to the highest tier last month. Hear me out. I'm picking up on some of Tom's logic regarding the personal value of our entertainment. I upgraded from the $8 to $10 because you guys bring so much valuable entertainment to my life. I listen to you guys in the shower, when getting ready for work, on my car ride to and from work. That's a lot of entertainment hours. Wow. You guys deserve the highest investment on my behalf because you provide me with so many hours of entertainment. Then add in your awesome suggestions for restaurants and businesses. I consider the value of Tom and Dan Entertainment extremely high. I want to thank you for all of your hard work and dedication. I talk for a living, so I know how hard it is to go to work every day, push your personal life to the side, and put on a smile for your clients. I've been a fan since the Monsters, so happy to be a part of the T&D family and BDM for life. Wishing you guys so much success. Land Cruise was amazing.
Yeah, that's Jim Colbert, too.
Oh, well, I was about to say, what does he do? He talks for a living?
That is Jimmy Colbert.
Because he says he talks for a living. Yeah. Now I'm curious, what does he do? What do you do?
Gender.
Who is this guy? Girls going to talk for a living.
It seems like they shouldn't be able to, but
my wife does, right. But I'm not listening to her.
And it doesn't really count if you're in sales and you say you talk for a living. Like, I understand there's a lot of talking involved, but you're selling stuff. That's your job.
Yeah, but you couldn't do that.
We talk for a living.
You couldn't do that. You couldn't cold call people. That's your worst nightmare. You hate that. You hate cold calls.
Yeah.
I hate cold calls.
even
Who loves cold? There are some people. There's a guy out there that he like gets off
the challenge
on
of
the
it.
challenge.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't re-engineered like the challenge of cold calling into like some sort of gambling deal. Because there is an element there of like having everything prepared, finding the edge on the client that you're talking to, weaving your way in, using your manipulation techniques to try. You know what I mean?
I don't like any of that. Like, I don't like the sales part where I have to sell you on anything. I just want you to like want what we're offering, and then I provide that, and then that's the transaction.
Okay,
because that's easier for me. I don't want to sit there and convince you why you should advertise with us or anything. I just want you come to me and be like, "Hey, I want advertising," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, here
fine,
it is.
I'll do it."
And,
and like they're bothering you,
and then we do it, and then you never talk to me again.
And I never talk to you again. And they're like, "Sir, I'd like to ask how my advertising." No. It was fine. Your advertising was fine. There, you have it.
And then when you do email me, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about you.
Oh my God, Travis isn't with us anymore. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
Who are you again? I forgot about you. It's true.
Like, you're advertising?
It's funny because it's true. I got a voicemail. I got another voicemail. Here we go.
Hey guys, when I was a kid, I had 3 siblings, and my parents would take us to do weird things on the weekends to entertain us. A couple of the things were going to Winter Park to ride the elevator in one of the buildings. We would take turns pushing the elevator button. We thought it was fun because it was all glass. And one time my brother got stuck in it, and they had to call the fire department to let him out. Some other times they would take us to the Orlando airport to ride that monorail thing back and forth, and we would do that all day long.
Oh my God.
And another thing was they would take us to construction sites on the weekend, and we would walk around homes that were being built.
Now,
I
saved this one because my mom and dad, look, we weren't poor. Like, we weren't like destitute, you know, we had a house and everything. But for entertainment, my family would pull off the side of the road at new construction, and we would walk construction sites. And I had to flag this. That's an elevated trash move. When, my dad would be like, oh my God, a condominium. And he'd pull over, and we'd all get out, and don't touch anything. There might be nails. And we just walk through the construction site. That was a thing. That's a Florida trash thing. I'm sorry.
That's pretty funny. We should do a category of like
we should
poor
do that.
parents entertaining their kids, and
let's do a go-to show.
That'd just be cheap parents too.
It's cheap parents. Yeah, they don't even need to be poor, right? Like these parents probably had money.
This I don't think exists anymore because we live in a society now that caters to kids' entertainment, and there are tons of free things for kids to do that I mean there are amazing parks that are you can go to,
my man,
you know.
we've got the Science Center right up the road, the Orange County Library
that costs
system.
money though.
Well, no, not Orange County. If you live in Orange County, there's so many like free things to do that the library offers to you. You know, you just got to be organized.
I feel like there's so many other like playgrounds and different free stuff that you can go to.
We do have an abundance
of drive.
Parks, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that doesn't necessarily cost money, that you don't have to go to the downtown elevator and
Does
start
Lou
riding
Gardens cost money?
Yeah.
Like even
most things do.
Even just to go into the area and just kind of walk around?
I think just to walk it, you have to pay a fee.
Oh, I didn't know you did.
Unless I'm wrong, I've only gone there really for events. And
me too.
$15.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too expensive
for an adult. For a child, $10.
Oh my God!
What other?
You better start snapping some photos with those eyeballs, kid.
Going and fishing off a pier is another.
Gotta have a fishing license, though. Costs money.
You know, my dad never
Not
wanted to do
necessarily.
that.
Yeah.
He would give me a cane pole. I was only allowed to have cane poles. because the Zebcos and the ones that like those were too expensive. But I would take my cane pole and a Homer bucket down to these ponds, and I'd fish for like shiners.
Yeah. And no, I never even knew fishing license existed until I was an adult.
Yeah, me neither.
Like
until I got on bodies of water with like boats. Like if I was walking to a body of water, I'm like, what are you gonna do? I walk to a body of water, I have a fishing pole, and you're going to arrest me for fishing? That's not a thing.
Yeah. I fish all the time for no license.
They ticket you. They don't arrest you.
Yeah. It's just they give you a ticket.
I think it's stupid.
It is stupid.
It's just, the government trying to make a dollar.
Do the fish have to have a license? If you're going to make me have a license, you have to make the fish have a license. They got to register. You got another email over there? Okay.
So this is a follow-up to a voicemail we had. Remember when the man called about his wife waking him up to make the dog go pee?
I believe that was DeBerry Joe, and he had called in to say, because we were confused. We had called in that his wife was going to take the dogs out at 2 a.m., and he had to work early, and she started, like, waking him up.
Yeah, so he says, I left a voicemail about the girlfriend waking me up to let the dogs out. She shook me to wake me up. It wasn't accidental. She wanted me to do it, even though she had the day off.
I've done that with Andrea. I full transparency, I'll lay there, and if Maggie will lick your hand when she wants to go out, she's really smart. Like, she'll wake you up through licking your hand, and you'll be like, yo, all right. And if Maggie starts licking my hand, I'll then tap Andrea, and I'll be like, she's licking me. Which is really stupid. I could just take the dog out. But I think my first reaction is for her to take the dog out.
Well, we know you're not supposed to wake her up in the middle of the night.
I know.
She's a cranky sleeper.
I know. So normally I'll just pretend like Maggie's not licking me and just roll the dice.
Dog pee-pee's
roll the pee-pee dice.
Are they his dogs, though? Because you could make the argument that...
I don't know.
That's a good question.
We need more clarification, DeBerry Joe.
If they're his dogs, then...
I might be with you on this.
Your girlfriend's like, hey, your dogs want to go out. I'm not going to let them out. Even though you have to work, like, it's your responsibility.
Your goddamn dog. Yeah.
When you live together... and have dogs, there ain't no your dogs, my dogs. It's dogs, right?
I feel like, okay, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend that has animals and you move in with them, yes, I know it's like the stepdad thing. Like, over time, you develop a bond with these animals, but
they're not
the
yours.
first, like, year and a half, they're that other person's animals. Like, you can help out, but if something's going down, there's doo-doo or something spraying, they're like, yeah, that's yours. Like, I moved in here and I'll help you, but this is in the middle of the night. You got to deal with this.
I don't know.
It's like I didn't buy these animals. So I moved in with you.
So wait, you in the scenario that you're describing, then Lena would not have been your dog?
Well, the problem with Lena is I moved in with Crystal.
That's her dog. So anything then why were you taking it to get laser treatment for its
that was 10 years.
It was smoking. The dog smoked, right? It needed laser treatment to stop smoking?
That was 10 years later. We've been living together. We were already married.
Okay. That makes sense. All right.
So it's like after 10 years, yes, it's my dog
But when you guys first got together...
it's her dog. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
that makes sense.
I would run out. Like, that dog was horrible. Like, they would just run out. I remember, okay.
Oh, God. I didn't mean to do this. I'm not taking... If this becomes a thing and Crystal gets mad, I don't want to be on the hook for this.
The dog would just take off if the door was open.
Yeah, that's what most dads do on Christmas morning.
And just run and never, like, it wouldn't just, like, want to explore the front yard or the, like,
what was like Forrest Gump
trying to escape your house.
It was Forrest Gump running to...
it's just to escape, like you were trying to escape.
It was like running for its life.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Let her go.
And of course, it was Crystal's baby. So when we lived in Carlton Arms South and
Carlton Arms South.
Holden and
South
OBT
is the worst one.
When you tell people you're from that area, you immediately get more...
I lived there for
but
year.
You're tougher because of it. Take your sons there and live for 1 week.
And it wasn't that bad, actually. Like, I'm telling you, when you live in a poor area, no one really messes with you. Because they're like,
man.
what are going to mess with this guy? He's poor like me. He lives next door to me.
Tom,
I'm going to mess with, I'm going to rob the rich person.
I was at a party where I accidentally put ghost pepper hot sauce on wings, and I gave a cabin boy, Mattis Cabin, the judge of Gapetoberfest, diarrhea. I gave him diarrhea from these wings, and a homeless man walked into your house and was just going to crash the party.
That was in Heroin Alley. That was an upgrade to where we used to live. Like, that was, we thought we were moving on up when we moved to Goldenrod and Curry Ford. Anyway.
I lived over there.
So when Lena took off running, she ended up in a swamp because there's a lake behind there, but there's like where the lake kind of goes into a retention pond, and then there's like trees and whatever.
Right.
She just goes and then is terrified because she knows she shouldn't run off, and the dog is like,
You're gonna beat me.
no chance of beating that dog. I wanted to, but Crystal would never let me do it or even discipline the dog. Anyway, the dog's in the swamp, and I'm like, Lena, come here.
No, it ain't gonna work.
Forced me to take my shoes off and roll up my jeans, walk into the swamp while she's just standing there, and then I have to lead her out of the swamp.
Oh my god, this is like Atreyu.
Yeah.
This is like the horse in the mud.
But no, Atreyu
Love the horse.
Yeah, and then the horse dies in the mud, right?
What was the horse's name again? Falcor's the dragon. I don't know.
Falcor's that
Atreyu's
dog.
the boy, right?
Atreyu's the boy. The horse's name is, I think it's Old Red.
Artax.
Artax is stupid.
All the names are dumb. The movie sucks.
That movie does suck. And Seth is wrong about it.
Yeah. Here's another one. The Dark Crystal with all those weird goblin puppets. That sucks
good.
too.
Yeah.
All that stuff sucks.
And here's how I can prove it. I'll show it to my sons, and they will definitely say it sucks.
Can we start doing movie reviews with Tommy and Mac?
Yeah, they won't even get through it. First, Max would be terrified by the wolf. Terrified.
Oh, yeah.
Something weird about a claymation wolf.
It's, you know what? It's scarier that way. You know who proved that to me is Tool. I was like, you guys were already scary. You guys look like a whole bunch of like bald-headed weirdos. You look like Blue Man Group lost their paint, right? That's what Tool looks like. And then you make every video you do is claymation. I'm like, this is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Let's try this voicemail right here.
Hey guys, it's DeBerry Joe. Just thinking about it, and I think I could beat Seth in any sort of foot race. That's Seth Pepperoni. I'm a 6'1", 150, and without any training at all other than 60 hours a week in lawn care, I think I could beat Seth in any style foot race. That's all.
What do you think?
Lean man. 6'1", 150.
That's lean.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like 153 now, losing weight, and I'm only 5'2". So he's got me by a foot, and he's got me by, like, he's 3 pounds lighter than I am.
Here, I'll just do the DeBerry Joe math
That
in
is
my head
lean.
and decide how much I want to bet on this foot race. So, there being a tall, lanky person,
not known for their speed, right? That's not the Emmett Smith or Barry Sanders school of speed.
Watch the Olympics 100-yard dash. There's not some tall beanpole.
They're usually average, right? Like 5'11", 6 foot.
They're all jacked
6'2"
sprinters that the super gaunt skinny guys are good for marathon running, and
Well,
not
you don't
tall.
want to be too short either, though. You want to be the perfect. There's a medium height that you need to be an
Thick
excellent.
thighs.
Yeah, I think you're going to be like 6 to 6'2".
Yeah.
Like
look,
even
look
me,
at Usain Bolt's measurements, and that's the perfect.
Did you say Usain Bolt?
Yeah, look at Barack Obama, Hussein Obama. What? I don't know. Look at somebody.
What's his first name?
Usain.
Usain. Did I say Hussein?
You said
Hussein.
You said Hussein, but you usually yell that. Hussein Obama. Who was that? Was old? What's his name? Right? Hank Williams Jr. Remember?
Yeah.
He was like, Hussein Obama. He gets so mad.
Anyway,
He's probably pretty mad right now.
I'll bet on Seth.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Well,
100-yard dash, 40-yard dash.
Look, I normally wouldn't keep
Is
this.
he known for his running?
He says he's fast. I wouldn't keep this voicemail. The only reason I kept this one is because I like DeBerry Joe. I don't like the quality of his voicemails. They're pretty bad. But he did have a good idea. He had a good idea. And you have been telling me that like this year you want to bring back some of the hijinks. And I think a simple race outside the studio is a nice, it's like kind of us easing into a hot bath. It's a nice, right? It's an easy one. It's like we got a tall guy versus Seth.
Also, a lot of people do this, and I think like construction workers, lawn men, anybody who works manual labor, they think that translates to some sort of sport or activity like running. And
I'm a Julio Jones of weed whackers.
Like, Seth works out 2 hours a day and does
7 days a week.
Specific, like either martial arts and stretching and like weight training and stuff. That
his diet is dialed in so good that it's amazing. His diet, it's you can't even keep up with it.
Like I know that being working in lawn care is hard ass work and it's harder than what we do and it's hot and there's a lot of physical activity, but you eat your breakfast at 7-Eleven and then you drink Mountain Dew all day and you carry around a weed eater, and I know it's hot, but I don't know if that translates into the 40-yard dash.
Right.
Like Seth's workouts twice a day does.
Yeah, even the zombies on Walking Dead are skinny. You know what I mean? And they're slow.
Yeah. Like, when's the last time you ran full speed or worked out, DeBerry Joe? It says it in your name.
He didn't even want to get up to take the dogs out.
Yeah.
That's a good. You brought up something that I think every man this year, if you're listening to my voice right now, would like for you to take the Tom and Dan full speed run challenge. I'm serious.
Yeah, all right.
I think this is funny.
Film
send us
yourself.
your videos.
Yeah.
Send the video. So what you do is set up. It doesn't have to be a mile. It doesn't have to be
40 yards. I mean, just
across the street
50
as hard
feet.
as you can.
Yeah, and I want full speed.
Full speed.
And we'll call it hashtag.
Because I've done it.
Full speed dad run.
Yeah, full speed dads.
And
this is what we're doing.
Because I guarantee you, it's not as fast as you remember being.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt.
And you're gonna be like, this is weird.
And I mean like this. I'm going to do like what I want you to be from standing. 3, 2, 1. And I want the look on your face to be like, shot! Like, I want you like, I'm in it,
fastest,
I'm pulling.
People that want to, give their submissions, they want to know which angle do you want? Do you want them running towards the camera, running away from the camera, or like a side view?
I don't think it matters. Use your creativity. Make sure we can see you.
Towards the camera is usually the best angle.
And the interview after you have reached your destination is going to be important. I need to hear you're going to be in the Huff and Puffs.
Yeah, the Huff and Puff house.
And then I want to hear what you think.
I want to hear your wife laughing at you in the background. I want to hear that.
And your opinion on how fast you think you were.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you it is 2 to 3 seconds slower than what you think you can.
And here's another thing. Here's another thing I want you to do. When you stop, when you get to your destination and it's like, and stop, you made it, try not to pull your shirt down. I bet you can't. I bet you can't.
Yeah.
I bet you want to pull your shirt down because your belly fell out, didn't it?
Time goes by fast.
It does.
And then
Write that down, Cindy Lauper.
And I know this because it happens to me all the time where I think to myself, I could do things that I could do when I was 25. And a lot of times have passed since then.
Now, do you still think you can beat me on a bike?
Oh, yeah.
Because you got in my head a little bit. He got in my head. Every time I'm on the Peloton, I'm racing these other fat dads, and I beat one so bad the other day. I beat one. I could tell I was beating him because I could see his heart rate monitor go into the red because we were racing. And mine was in the red too, but I stayed in the red because I had a little bit of Tom Van. You've taught me through years of our relationship. You have taught me that I can't let this dad in Wisconsin beat me. I have to blood eye, even if it means I pass out. And I'm clipped in, so if I pass out on that bike, I just die on the bike. I can't fall over.
Everybody thinks they're better than they are, right?
And they better looking too. Do you ever look in the mirror and you're like, not bad, ugly. You're ugly.
Is it primarily? Do girls do this too, Sam?
What?
Where they just think they have more abilities than they actually do, or is that
I don't think it's as common.
Andrea's pretty realistic about what she can and can't do.
Crystal told me she could beat me in a swimming race the other day.
She's an exception.
She's like you.
Very competitive.
Like me and you, she's hung out with you enough to get some of your wacky ideas.
Because when she watched they're going to swim practice tonight. I may race her.
Oh, my God.
Get in your underwear. We're going to race.
My mom and dad are racing in their underpants.
Do not do that at the high school.
And
I'll beat you. Let's go to Cracker Barrel.
And I looked at her eyes, and she truly believes. She's like, of course, I used to swim. I'm definitely faster than you. I'm like, there is no possible way you'll beat me in a swimming race. I will bet anything.
Now
watch it. Tommy beat you at skiing.
Well, no, Crystal beats him at skiing every time. Have you ever seen Crystal ski?
No.
Yeah, that's true.
I've never seen snow.
Crystal ski,
she's faster than me.
No, it's not
she'll
even.
Always be faster.
It has nothing to do with the speed. It has everything to do with when she is on skis.
But there's technique
She's
involved.
like dancing. It's like she can do the little moves are the ones that going fast on skis. Anybody can go fast on skis. She can go down and then do the little little parallel French fries, and then she slides out, and then she can like hold like her child.
She's been doing it since she was 4 or whatever.
It's like she's ice skating. It's amazing to watch her ski. It's amazing, effortless.
There's a lot of challenges we're going to get done this year. The year of challenge.
I don't know.
All right.
So we're going to do the fat. So they are asking about the hashtag. Let's just full speed fat dad.
No, it was hashtag full speed dad run.
Okay, full speed dad run.
Okay, yeah.
Full speed dad run. That's your hashtag.
Yeah.
And send the video. Show at TomandDan.com if you can. But I want to
post
see
it in social media.
Post
we'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find it.
If you could possibly time it out and just predict what you think the time was going to be, 40-yard dash. I mean, it's 120 feet. So I think you can mark that off, even in a parking lot with some 10-foot
parking lot. Hard country.
And don't fall down.
You're gonna fall
when you're
down.
big and fat, and you do that move where you can't stop your momentum, and you land on your shoulder, and then you grind your cheeks off. Oh god! Or you get road rash on your leg. Oh god, Izzy, don't do that. I don't need anybody falling down.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna fall. All right, bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. I might be getting my Instagram back.
Yeah!
I'm excited.
I'm excited about that, too. Now, how are we with your OnlyFans?
Working on it.
Okay, all right. Just giving the folks the update they wanted.
I thought about doing that this morning because I was listening to another podcast and...
About doing the OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Look at how he should.
Wow.
This man's having a mini heart attack.
No,
we have guests in here. We have guests in here, and you've never blushed this bright red in front of guests before.
I mean, what'd you think about it?
What do you think about
No, I'm just saying, there's a lot of things you could put on OnlyFans.
Yeah, they had some interesting content where it's both slightly risque and comedy, and I thought it was a good idea.
I don't want you getting,
then I can quit this show.
I don't want it being like Ram Jam, and then you turn around, you got a clown wig on. Like that ain't got nah.
Some people are into it.
Yeah. Let's do. Before we start. I want to remind everybody that it's BDM Appreciation Week next week.
It is indeed, man. We have been busting our butts so hard on this that we don't even fully know what all's going out.
Yeah.
It's out of control at this point. It's simian. It's alive. It's a free thinking. It's on its own. It's doing its own thing.
I just approved some Visa gift cards, which the fee for each card and the printing is more than the amount on the card.
It is a gigantic waste of money. It's a waste of money. It really is.
So
the card leaving us is worthless as it travels through the mail. When you get it, it's a 0. Or it's less than 0. It's a -2.
Yeah. With shipping, I'm like, wait a minute. Did this card cost $11 to give our listener 10?
Yeah.
That's how we do it. Anyway, if you want to be involved, you got to be a BDM. And if you are a BDM, make sure your address is correct on TomandDan.com. And if it's not correct, you have to change your credit card and address again and resubmit everything. Yeah. That's how to change it. But that's going to be happening all next week. We're also going to have a specific shirt that we're going to try to make it as inexpensive as possible.
Yeah. It's a Who's Farted shirt.
It will be for BDMs only.
Who farted?
And so all of that. Let's hit it.
Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by StreamlineFlorida.com.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
If you want that cash out refi or you need a mortgage to buy a house, use them. They'll help you, especially in this market. It's Brian Ziman and his team. They're
Streamline,
great.
yeah, StreamlineFlorida.com.
So, Joe from 360 is here. How you doing, Joe?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good to see you, man.
Good
How
to
you
see
been?
you too. Been good.
And Joe brought his wife, Alexandra, for Weird Job Wednesday today. How you doing, Alexandra?
I'm great. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So let's start with, you've got a super interesting story, Alexandra, and let's start from the beginning. So how did you come to America and start living here? Let's go before that.
So I'm originally from Eastern Europe, Belarus, and one day, of course, every Eastern European dream is to go somewhere overseas, live there, and I was actually planning to go and live in Germany because I have family there. So we applied for visa and stuff like that. And
before you continue, why is that every Eastern European's dream to live in America?
I think it's a good question, probably especially now. It's probably a really...
Is it rock and roll?
I think it's a good question because...
She got in early about 12 years ago. She was easy on that.
Yeah, I guess everyone sees the movies, America, everyone living great life, American dream and stuff like that. So, and our countries, they're pretty rough on,
Sure.
In politically and social life. So everyone wants to try and get away from there. And of course, it's everyone's dream.
Gotcha. So you were thinking about going to Germany,
Yep.
and what happened next?
Yeah, so we applied for a visa in Germany. I was supposed to work as a nanny in there. They found my family, my mom's cousin, she found a family for me to work in. And one day, at that moment, I studied for criminal justice. I was about to get my criminal justice degree. I saw a friend running hallways, crazy, happy, and I stopped him and I was like, "Hey, Roman, what's going on?" He like, "I'm going to America." And I was like, "Oh wow, congrats, what's happening? Like, how did you get there?" And he was like, "I want a green card." And I'm like, "Well, good for you, like, good luck, So I went home, I told my parents, I saw Roman, happy, this. And my dad was like, "Why don't you apply?" And I was like, "Why would I apply? I'm going to Germany. What do you mean?"
Yeah.
And he's like, why not? Having the option, go to Germany, go to United States.
Yeah, this is a smart, positive, shoot for the stars kind of dad. He's like, why have Germany when you can come to the big, let's come to the big dance, right? Let's call it what it is. I love your dad. That's all. He's like, you just shoot for the moon.
So it's a lottery system?
Yeah, it's
That's
a lottery
Hunger
system.
Games.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Hunger Games, right?
But a good version, not go fight to the death.
Unless she starts telling us how many people she had to kill to get
That's
over
true,
there.
you're right. We don't know the whole story.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
God knows I do.
Yeah, so, and I applied, and believe it or not, within like a difference a week, I actually got denied in Germany, and I got the green card to come to United States.
Really?
Oh, wow. You're lost, Germany. We got her now.
In my mind, because I'm so dumb, and I'm a dumb American,
Yes.
I think that you can get into any other country, no problem.
I can be in any country today. By the end of the day, I can be in any country.
I'm like, you can't just go and live in Germany whenever you want? I assumed you could.
Yeah, you just go there, buy a house, like in a week.
I thought only we were like, hey, wait a minute, go through the system, or just run in through the South. Whatever's first. So you got, it was just like the winning lottery.
Yeah.
They just picked your name.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
So now...
Were you freaking out, though, when you found out? Were you like, oh, my God, or were you a little scared? Because you're like, I've never been, or had you been?
I was 21, so at that point I was like, oh, yeah, adventure,
Right.
So I didn't think about, where I'm going, where I'm going to leave, what I'm going to do there. I was just like, hey, I'm traveling, because that was the first time I was actually traveling.
First time in the States?
In general, out of country, so...
That's awesome.
I've never flown on a plane.
That's awesome first trip, man,
Right?
is the U.S. I would say you definitely hit the lottery, because, I think my first trip was, I don't know, Nassau. It's like, wah, wah.
This is here's how dumb I am too.
Okay, part two. Continue.
In my mind, all the country of a particular country is the same. So it's like going to Germany. Like it doesn't matter
it's
where
just
you
German
go.
America.
Yeah, it's like
you go to the Bahamas. It's just tropical America. You go to it's all the same because of technology and the way the world is connected.
Well, not even that. I'm saying like geographically, like just going to Germany. Like who cares what city or where? Yeah. Like I'm in Germany, and I think.
Wow.
Yeah, he thinks like Seattle.
No plan B.
Yeah, Seattle is Munchen. They're all the same.
But I know that if you come to the United States, there's a huge difference between Mississippi and San Francisco. Like
those are perfect.
So if you
polar opposites.
So it matters where you show up in the United States. Like, and of course, it matters any country where you show up in that country. It just that's how dumb I am. I think other countries are somehow different than the United States. Like all states are different, all cities are different, and the geographic location vastly different. So when you were coming to the United States, like, did you have an idea of like this is the city I want to live in?
She's coming to the United States with like a criminal justice degree, right? It's like almost like a V.I. Wachowski thing going on here. Like I don't know what's happening. Like your smarty pants coming to the States.
Yeah, I picked Florida just because, first of all, of course, climate, like weather is warm. I was done with winter. I didn't want, and at first I was like, okay, maybe I'll go to California because
quick question: what were the winters like? Just for comparison's sake, like so your winter where you lived until 21, you win the lottery, and you're looking at your closet. Like, what would you have to wear during one of your winters?
It's a lot of coats, sweaters,
boots,
and stuff. Like
hats.
Boots. Yeah, like
Did you show up in a parka?
Was that?
Did you show up like in a parka?
Kind of, but not really like that because I was coming, I think it was June, so I kind of Googled at least temperature, what was going to be here.
Right.
Yeah, so I was in between going to Seattle and Florida, and at some point I was like, okay, maybe I'll go to California, but then I was like, California is expensive. No. Yeah, but a lot of people from my country, go to Seattle because it's somewhat nature is the same, temperature is the same. So, but I was like, nah, thank you. No, not for me.
It's a huge difference between Seattle or Central Florida.
Yeah, it could not be more different.
So you pick Florida, and how does it work? Is like, does your family pitch in to give you some like money to start a new life? Like, what's the plan? You got to find housing. Like, I
think they just give her like a canoe, and then they put a goat. They put a goat in the canoe with a tent, like Sam said. They give you a jug of water, like Zephyr Hills. They push you out into the ocean. They're like, "Well, good luck."
No, like you win the lottery.
The goat drowned.
To the United States. I imagine like your family's happy, your family and friends are like,
are they mad because they want to go? What if your dad's like, "Well, I only pushed you out of the nest because I wanted to be there." Baseball, rock and roll, apple pie.
How does that work?
Well, my dad was happy. My mom wasn't that much because obviously she's like, oh my gosh, you're going to be so far away. At least Germany, I can hop in the bus and be there, Right. Yeah, so I think they gave me about $800 to $1,000 with me, actually. But the plan was like, okay, you go just, for summertime, maybe 4 months, just, look around and come back. So it wasn't even like go and live there, stay there, and that's it.
I'm not at all laughing at you. I have to preface this. The chat room sometimes will launch a bomb into my eyeballs and make me laugh. Brock BDM from our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live.
You already know it's about you.
You can watch us live every single day, Monday through Friday. Brock says Tom thinks that every immigrant from Europe is Feifel. That's the little mouse. The little mouse. And he thought that you had like little baggy jeans and an overcoat and a little hat and
a stick with a bag on the end.
Feifel goes to Kissimmee.
I've seen that video. When you show up, like, where do you go for housing? All that stuff, like.
Okay, well, that's
you get off the boat. You're like, America.
Actually,
so you've got your stick. You look around. You see the Statue of Liberty.
Actually, you're so
Bill the
close
Butcher's there?
To what happened. Actually, I picked up my luggage and then I looked around and I was like, okay, what's now? That's how was
That's
it.
terrifying.
I didn't have
is
any
kinda scary.
booking, like hotel, anything.
Oh my God! You didn't have a Trivago?
No.
Oh my God! You didn't even Trivago. Oh
Yeah,
man,
right?
this is terrifying.
Yes,
So-
MCO.
and this is 2009 to
10,
but
yeah.
10. Did you have a smartphone?
Oh gosh, I think I had a flip phone.
Oh, flip
maybe.
phone, no Trivago, flip phone, standing in the middle of nowhere. And you're like, well, starting a new life.
Yep.
That's scary.
And I was like, okay, let me go to information desk to ask. Actually, I did had at the point a housekeeping job offer in one of the hotels or something like that. So,
I've seen those videos.
Yeah, and I came to the the information desk and I was like,
Sound
hey,
better.
I need.
Joe, you know what? You
You do know how to operate a camera. That is, you know,
360, baby.
Hold on.
Coming together.
I'm writing this down.
Wait, I'm starting an OnlyFans. Hold on.
Yeah, well, you're going to need that.
Joe did say, this is a nice couch. He did. I know about couches.
I'm a couch guy.
We're putting it together now.
Although not the color I would have chosen.
White can be problematic. Oh, sorry.
So yeah, I went to information desk. I showed them on that list the address of the hotel, and I asked them where's the nearest bus station and what bus is going to that hotel. And the lady looked at me crazy. She's like, "Well, honey, it's Sunday night. There's no buses going."
Listen, baby, where you going? So she was obviously from the same area you were from. In Europe. Listen, baby, you ain't getting nowhere until tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., and that probably going to be 9:15.
And no one told you that America, we use no mass transit.
Well, especially in Florida.
Yeah,
we have cars,
Right.
giant cars.
You got to have your own. Drive your own.
You want a car by yourself? Get a giant Lincoln Navigator.
If you're a
Suburban.
mom, if you're a mom with an only child, you have the biggest Chevy SUV you can buy.
Yeah, so that was pretty much. So I had to call one of the guys that while I was in my home country, I spoke on a Facebook about like, hey, I saw you guys living in Orlando area. What's the prices to get kind of like the idea of everything?
Right.
And for some reason, he left me his phone number in case if I ever need anything. And somehow that piece of paper was in my pocket.
Oh my God, that's good luck.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. So I went to the payphone. I called him and I'm like, hey, I'm in the airport, period. He's like, hey, stay where you at. I'll come get you. So I'm like, here
And
he
you
comes.
only knew this guy from Facebook?
Yeah.
He could have been catfishing you. He could have killed
that's
you.
What
I'd never be able to do this.
We were driving.
Anxiety.
he
Where
said-
you're a pampered American, you got to be a tough ass.
I know.
You got to
you're
come
right.
from some place where you don't have all these. Like we are so soft. It's like,
Yeah.
I bet you if we could measure your anxiety during this, it would have been about a 3. You know, you're like, and you know, I mean, like
There are foreign exchange students just for the opportunity
Live
of
with
living
random
there.
families.
They're just like, go, and the parents are like, anywhere you end up, but then hopefully it's
Yeah.
fine. Like they can't vet them. They're like, I'm sure the family's nice. It's just anything, but get her out of here.
So you call the Facebook man, and he's coming to. Is he coming to get you?
Yeah, so
Okay.
he came to the airport, picked me up. He was with a friend. Me driving in the car was too, I don't know them. I'm like, here goes my liver, here goes my kidney,
I like that.
We don't do that here.
Yeah.
That is an Eastern European thing. Like,
But they are Eastern European. Yeah, they
That's the
are
punchline.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Joke's on you. They were all Eastern European.
Yeah. In America, it's just the standard murder.
Yeah,
we don't
simple.
actually even profit off your organs.
Maybe a
We're
sexual
wasteful.
assault, right? Sexual assault murder.
Yeah.
We don't go right
worst
for the
kind.
organs.
Yeah. I guess the organs are. I mean, at least you wake up and you're like, well, I still got one kidney.
pretty good.
I would rather wake up one kidney than dead.
Yeah. So these guys pick you up and they're driving you around now. Are you scared for your life?
Well, the chat room's
No.
scared, I'll tell you that. The chat room is terrifying.
Yeah.
No, I was super tired because the flight was really, really tough. I had to.
So you're like, let me fall asleep back
In a
here.
Yeah, that was pretty
Let's
much
see, I'll
like
put some,
that.
what do I got here? I'll just wrap my backpack around my liver, where I think my liver is. And,
She woke up in Seattle.
Yeah, no, actually, so they dropped me off in Kissimmee in.
Oh my God! It
Yeah.
got worse.
Yeah, in one of the Days Inn hotel, they checked me in. and they just left. And I've never seen them again. I've never spoke to them again. Wow. Which I felt like after all that, I was like, man, I should have even say like, meet them, say big thank you that I'm still alive, but for some reason I've never got a contact with them.
I'm not saying anything about any company or any place, but if I'm gonna pick a possible sex trafficking capital of the world, a Days Inn in Kissimmee maybe.
Yeah. I think Sam said that before on the show.
That may be ground zero.
Yeah, it checks out.
So they drop you off at the Days Inn in Kissimmee, and then that's literally the first night
She still lives there.
in America. Days Inn in Kissimmee, and you have no other plan.
No, just to wake up in the morning and go to that place where I have a housekeeping job and start working.
She's keeping it positive. I like that. Look, I'm just if
she
I can
has a law degree at this time, right?
Right.
And you have a law degree to be a prosecutor, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You know what? That always made me mad. Because,
I hate it when you're like, I got a guy
do it all over again.
I got a guy
overqualified.
There's a guy working on the air pump at Wawa. He's like fixing it. You know, the free air that everybody abuses, right? And he's working out there. I'm like, oh, hey, man, thanks for doing this. Unprompted, he turns to me because he's so disgusted with the plight he's in right now. And he goes, you know, in Venezuela, I am a surgeon. I'm like, oh, my God. Like, why are you telling me that? I'm like, this is terrible. Then we should make you a surgeon here. We should figure out a way to make you a surgeon here. I feel bad. You shouldn't be working on the Wawa air pump.
Or something better than the one. Like, you are overqualified to do this position. Like, I understand, the actual degrees don't cross over.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
figure it out.
It's, you can't, you're surgeon to Wawa. Like, there's something in between. You could do better. Like, so I feel like with a criminal law degree, it's like, maybe you can't immediately take the bar or whatever it is, but you could be working in a law office. So, like, you don't have to be cleaning hotel rooms.
Right.
The information. Yeah,
well, I mean, when you come to the country like that is, language, culture, everything different. It's not like you travel, from, like you said, from one state to another, or from United States to Canada, where you kind of somewhat similar, So you need to come, start working at least somewhere, something to start getting some income, and then figure it out the next, so.
A lot smarter than we are.
Yeah. So
I'd be dead in that Days Inn. Buried in the foundation of it.
I'd immediately just start walking up and down 192, being like, oh my God,
man. Yeah.
Like, this is America. $10 3 for $10 t-shirts, Applebee's, Zaxby's. It's just a never-ending row of 3 for $10 t-shirts. So you start working, cleaning rooms. Then, I mean, I imagine that it's probably not even a living wage. You're not making that much. So how the hell?
How do you transition out of that?
Yeah,
actually, I when I went to the front desk in the morning to ask about the hotel, the address and how to get there, they found out that I'm planning to work as a housekeeper, and they offered me a job in the same Days Inn, and I lived there for half a year and worked there for half a year.
Is it free rent or no?
It was very discounted.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So until I actually got my way into Old Town in Kissimmee.
All right. Orlando.
The American dream.
You may have seen him there with the cowboy hat holding a novelty rifle.
You're like, look how many alligator head ashtrays there are here. American dream.
Yep. And I started working in Old Town in the bar and coffee shop, and I had at the moment, I guess, like 3 jobs. Once I start feeling a little bit more comfortable with money, I get the car. And then, because I was walking all that time. For 2 years, I was just taking bus and just walking.
That, walking and taking the bus down 192 is hard.
You need your sons to walk 192 with her.
No, they never last. They're 2 weeks.
They need 6 months at the Days Inn, and that'll straighten them up.
They've been ruined by the American dream, and they're so soft. You start working your way up, and then what happens next?
Well, then I start questioning, okay, what do I do next? Do I proceed with my criminology? Do I go here to UCF or something like that? Or do I do something different? And at that point, I decided that, hey, I went to university. I spoke to, to the administration staff, and they said, okay, I would have to almost like redo the whole degree from the scratch.
They did the same thing with me. It's because they need to make their money, and
right.
I took classes even at Florida. So maybe this will make you feel better. Even Florida classes to other Florida institutions won't transfer. Like all of my Flagler credits at UCF were like useless. They're like, nope, sorry. I'm like. Same. We're in America. It's the same courses like Western Civ, math. They're like, we don't accept your algebra. I'm like, when did algebra change?
You just learn a couple different laws. Is it fine?
I mean, but I do think, but that's crazy that you can do that much and they don't even give you any value here.
Yeah.
So it wasn't worth your time, right?
Yeah, it was just so super expensive. It was like about 5 to 6 years again studying, and I was like, no, I need to just do something. And I really decided to go into beauty industry. I went to Aveda Institute.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I wanted to do this also at home, but at that time it wasn't really like a job that you make a living off.
Yeah.
So my parents were kind of like, no, choose some proper job, choose a real career, not cutting hair or doing some makeup, So, and then I called my parents and I was like, you know what? I didn't do this back home. I'm going to do it here, So I decided to go to beauty school. At first they were like, what kind of career is that? What kind of career is that? And I'm like, well, I'm going to try it again, my way.
And you got to tell them, like, this is America, land of ridiculous careers.
You can make a lot of money.
You could say this guy.
This is a job.
Yeah,
look how stupid this is.
What kind of career is this?
Look at the walls, Alexandra. Look at our office, our business. It's ridiculous.
All you need to say to them is, do you know how much money this guy makes with these alligator ashtrays? He's just chopping their heads off. He's chopping their hands off, legs off, tails off, everything. He's just making bank.
My boyfriend is just filming people.
My boyfriend
what kind of job is that?
He films people's weddings. They never watch them. Ever. They've never seen them one time.
And they pay a lot.
Yeah, and it's good.
They pay a lot.
So you try out makeup and getting into cosmetology, and but I'm sure that school's expensive,
business,
right?
Yeah.
So do you have to pay all that out of your pocket?
Yeah, so my degree costed about, in Aveda, it was a dual license massage therapy and esthetician, so it costed about $15,000.
Holy moly. Yeah, education's expensive.
Yeah, for about 8 months, I do believe, about roughly. Yeah, so...
And a lot of that, too, you're paying for the name. Aveda can prop you up. That is reputable. They're known. I use their products. Andrea uses their products. So there is some, when you get them that little bit of that power behind you, it really is helpful.
Yeah. And if you look at it like the costs of these schools and certain trade schools and stuff, pale in comparison to the cost of like a 4-year university.
I'm a big fan of the trade schools.
I have $80,000 of debt. And they're like, well, good luck, guys.
Yeah, at least they give you the amount and you can chip away. It's not like it's a never-ending $116,000. It's like $15K and you chip. It's like buying a small car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes a little more sense to me
and
that
you could
way.
have do some payments within, I think they give you half a year after you finish the school to find a job, settle in, and then you do payments, because the initial deposit, I don't, to be honest, remember how much was it, maybe $5,000 or something, and then the rest you just pay off with the time.
And this is America, too, so if you bitch about it enough, maybe the government will forgive you.
Yeah.
You can do that.
You have a voice. You have a great big bitchy voice.
Like, I borrowed too much money. Take it away.
I can't do nothing about
it.
this.
I mean, in the back of my mind, I'd be like, maybe it does happen. I don't know. Hopefully
there is
it does.
some truth to that
I can't
statement.
pay it.
As Americans,
either it happens or I don't pay it, whatever.
There is some truth to that statement. As Americans, when we lay that head on our pillow, we can forget about it and just pretend like it's not there. And when you pretend like it's not there, it's kind of not there.
Yeah. There is no law against being bad at life here. You could be horrible.
And people sometimes will be like, leave them alone.
Yeah.
So what all do you do now? Like, have you did you decide? Or you started your own thing? Like, how did you?
Yes. So now I have a little studio in Dr. Phillips on Sand Lake, called Studio Del Croix, and I do full body wax. I offer lash lifts. I do permanent makeup.
Oh wow.
I do brow tinting. So all kind of beauty stuff.
So now we get kind of into the weird job part of it, because I want to talk to you about permanent makeup and like how all this stuff works, because
it's fascinating.
First, it's big business.
Yeah.
And second, it's like I don't even like the permanent makeup is essentially tattooing, right?
Yes.
So, but like in a very mild way. Like, what do you do? What do people mostly want?
So usually permanent makeup, there's a bunch of techniques right now, what you can do, what you offer to client, and it's definitely a big growing right now market services for the United States and Europe. Seems they be a little bit more advanced in that because they started seems to be much earlier with that.
Sure.
So it's just coming. It's you use it in permanent. There's two techniques. There's microblading. There is powder brows, and so it's two different techniques. What you use for microblading, you use it's a thin blade where you, let's put it this way, you do small cuts mimicking the hair strokes, then you rub the pigment in, and then it heals in, and it's supposed to mimic the hair strokes. When you use, for the powder brows, you use a tattoo machine with a single needle, and you lightly applying the tint or the pigment into the skin with the layers, so it creates that fluffy, just
it like makes it thicker, right? Like
yeah,
more,
just a little bit more
How
color.
do you learn how to do that? Like, I feel like
It's
that,
fascinating,
because
dude.
we've talked to tattoo artists
She
before.
went to school.
No,
He doesn't like school.
actually.
He doesn't like school. He wants to buy all the equipment online and like
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out in an afternoon
We
like he does a
practice
pressure
on you.
washer.
well, I mean, you talk to tattoo artists, and they'll tell you like it took them so many years to figure out
Right.
like how to tattoo skin, because it's
Right.
a hard thing. You know,
Yeah.
like you could learn how to do it in a school, but then perfecting it, imagine, is hard, right? So it's like, did you have to like start with practicing on people you knew, or is
That's
there
a good
like
question,
Is there
yeah.
like pig skin that you practice on? I know tattoo artists do that.
I'm right here, man.
Yeah, I usually for my classes I travel overseas because I do feel like they offer a little bit more advanced classes in a term where the time frame to learn all that is much bigger.
Right.
So, for example, for my initial course, I had to spend about 3 weeks
a long
doing
time.
all that. Yes. So at first, you do your theory, you read a lot of materials, then you start practicing on the latex, and stuff like that, and
I do like how the same country that said your law degree doesn't qualify over here also said go overseas, better education over here. All right, sorry.
No. Yeah, it's just I feel like because they started much earlier, so they saw that, for example, 3 days is not enough to teach someone, being a cashier.
We do it fast here. We literally do a Harley Davidson motorcycle class in 2 days.
That's true.
We're like, we'll get you on the road with. You can buy a $22,000 Harley Electric Glide with every feature on, and get that big old 105 Screaming Eagle package on it, and ride that up a tree and kill yourself in 2 days. You can do that. I can train you how to kill yourself in 2 days with a Harley.
All you have to do is go into our parking lot and
Dump it 50 times. We'll pass you no matter what because we need the money.
Anyway, so then starting a small business is like, do you start off with yourself? Like, and is it only yourself? Do you have employees now?
Right now, I'm working by myself. I offering, all the services by myself, and eventually, I would like to grow. It is right now hard to find, employees who would really put work into work, I guess.
It's kind of like with me, where like it's hard to get guys because I need someone to shoot exactly like me and edit exactly like me. So it's hard to get people. She needs that. She has a brand, like a style of how she does everything. So I think that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's the number one problem for any small business is like the owner figuring out like how you're going to hire someone
That's a good fit.
that does something exactly how you would do it, and it's nearly impossible because no one's going to care
We
as
don't
much as you care.
remember. Like, we don't remember how we do things. So
we hire employees that do things better than us.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
key.
Really?
Is you do.
Well, one
I
of
know a
them.
few that,
the only one that's here.
Only one. Yeah. The other ones, I've never considered anybody else really an employee. They were just a probation.
So do you does your family still be like, how is this happening? How is this working? Are they in disbelief that you have this successful business in America doing these
We have
things?
a family now, and
And she kind of downplays how nice her studio is. She has like a super nice studio right next to like Eddie V's in downtown.
Oh,
Like, or
that's Fancy Town.
center
You're
part-
in Fancy
the
Town.
center part of,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Sand Lake Road.
I know.
So,
Yeah,
the rent there is crazy.
It's crazy.
it's more than a mortgage.
Yeah, but with those type of treatments, that's a target-rich environment. That's
Yep.
a smart move. You need to be in those areas. It's kind of like when we've talked to friends of ours. It's like you don't really trust the attorney who drives up in the really, really terrible car that's like, it's like leaking oil and it's on fire, and he's having you jump it so he can get to court. It's like, I don't know if I trust you, dude.
I like getting my microblading done in a garage. I mean, she knows how to do it. Anyway,
that's a nice dartboard.
so how does it work? Going back to like when you come here, you have a business now. But,
Oh, they're gonna microblade you now because you got your grandpa's bushers up there. He's got these big bushers. His eyebrow. Look at that one.
There's no-
We'll wax them first.
That one on the left is a
I know, it's getting big.
That one we call it the merle.
the
merle.
My pop-up had like literally
awesome.
two hair hats above each eye. Like they stuck out 2 inches.
What
Yeah,
is
trim them down.
Goddamn pop up! There's a new era. Flat brims coming straight off.
So now that you're married to Joe, is it like you could stay for good? How does that work? I don't even understand.
No. So actually, before I met, I'll let you tell it.
No, you tell it.
All right.
Fine. Love bird fight.
When I met her, she was already a citizen, so she worked super hard for about 9.5, 10 years, and then got her citizenship. So when I met her, she had nothing to gain from me.
Hey, that's Andrea. That's Andrea.
Okay. Everything to lose, nothing to gain.
Because I was about to say successful businesswoman. I was like, why are you married to Joe? And then I was like, for the citizenship.
That's Hammerman. He's got his head in the
That's
side.
the first place my
I needed a commercial for a business.
It's like,
That's where my mind went. I'm like,
Joe's just riding 4-wheelers and Peace River.
jet skiing every day.
So now, when is there any permanent makeup you wouldn't do? Like, do people ever come in and ask for?
I wanted them to write in Chinese lettering on my eyebrows, white powder.
Do people ask for something where you're like, I'm not going to do that? Like, tattoo artists sometimes won't tattoo someone's neck.
If it's like racist
or face,
or outwardly.
or even at all. They're like,
hands.
I'm not going to tattoo your face because I just don't want to do that. So will you
face, neck, hands?
Like, say someone wants to get extreme makeup, like the Drew Carey lady.
Mimi. Why do I know? You know what? The fact that you said it, I was like, Mimi.
That's an old man reference, but like something extreme where you're like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Absolutely. The permanent makeup is actually created not to replace your makeup. It's just to enhance the natural beauty. So, in the way it should be done very naturally, very not that unnoticeable, but just for enhanccencement. So for the
little, it's all about subtlety,
minimum. Yeah, exactly. So for example, if you're in the pool, in the ocean, you don't have to wear your makeup, but you still look nice.
I make my wife wear makeup in the ocean. If not, she'll look like some old. She'll look like some old crab.
You're like, Ursula!
Poor unfortunate soul.
Yeah, when she first told me she does permanent makeup when we first met, I thought it was just like you shave your eyebrows and you just have permanent.
That's called the carrot top.
Thick. Like she has permanent makeup. Like her eyebrows, her lips are candy lipped, so she doesn't have any makeup on right now.
Can you candy lip me?
Really?
Can I candy lip myself? I want my lips to look plump and juicy and red at all times. I want everybody looking
red.
at. I want every man and woman who looks at my lips to be like, ooh la la. I want him to be like, suck la bleu. He's got big old lippers.
Can you tattoo my rosacea off? Because
that's alcohol.
Even it out.
Okay, I've wanted to ask this question. I mean, no disrespect.
No,
we have asked this on the show. You've probably heard this question before. I've asked this many times. Sam usually gives me the eye roll, tells me, "Oh, come on." The microblade technique. For someone like Tom who likes to bick his genitals down smooth, can you use that technique to make it appear like you have permanent pubes?
Funny you ask.
Yeah, funny I ask. Thank you. I have a professional woman here.
You can do everything. Actually, in Europe, one of my friends, he does for women a landing strip.
He does like a landing strip on the men. You need that.
He microblades a landing strip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I saw the work. It's an interesting. I don't know if it's gonna get
popular.
any popular.
Right.
Yeah, because
He's a
there's
visionary,
out there
this man.
people do freckles as a tattoo,
I want a heart. I want a little
there's
heart
a lot
patch.
Of some techniques right now in Europe. They try and actually tattoo a blush, like ladies wearing like makeup like as a blush. So it's an interesting how it develops. I don't know if it's going to be super popular or something, but there's definitely they trying out different styles.
See, there you go. True question. So if somebody had let's say they did have chemo, I'm guessing, does your pubes fall out, right?
I don't know.
I think your pubes fall out. I think the chemo blows your pubes out. So if the chemo blows your pubes out, you can go.
Again, I don't know why you want pubes. It seems.
Well, you're getting the best of both worlds here because you're getting the look and the fluff of pubes with none of the actual pubes. It's just an illusion. It's like when you touch it, it's like might as well be an NFT. It's NFT pubes. NFT pubes. I'm telling you right now, that could be huge.
So
I need to get in touch with your Eastern Bloc friend, and maybe we're going to make a deal.
So plug your studio one more time so people know where it's at.
Yeah, it's Studio de la Croix. We are located at the Plaza Venezia in Dr. Phillips on the Sand Lake. Inside Sola Salons, it's a second floor.
Oh, that is a nice area. Wear a collared shirt if you go around there, people.
So
don't be embarrassing us.
How did you and Joe meet? I know you guys.
He's interview mode. Let's do it.
Well, we talked about the couch. No, I'm just joking. No, we met at a coffee shop in Windermere.
No, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so not interesting at all. No.
Just Joe's kind of the stereotypical, he's an American Joe.
He's a good old American.
He's a good old American Joe.
Yeah, he likes holding the camera. He likes beer.
He likes beer. He likes phones.
Cheap.
American Joe.
I like the sunshine.
Couldn't get weirder.
So is that what drew you to Joe?
I was actually just on a production. I was going there to get a water, and she was getting a coffee, and we started talking. She asked to sit down. I felt really bad for her. I thought she thought I was I needed help or something.
Like you were special needs?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so stupid.
They're shutting down this cafe, and the whole time I'm like, this poor girl. I feel so bad. I kept being I can leave. I can leave. And
it's funny to say. I went actually. We started talking, and we talked for maybe 15 minutes. I went to the bathroom to call my mom. I'm to say, oh my gosh, I met such a cute
she's
guy.
Not coming back.
Yeah, and he's sitting there thinking oh my gosh, that's it. She left.
I met John Krasinski from The Office.
Ate too many donuts.
No.
And has he taken you 4-wheel riding and
he giving the full American Joe experience?
All the Florida.
Yeah, she's got the Confederate flag T-shirts now.
Whoa, Joe! That's not part of being
joking,
American
I'm
Joe.
joking.
That's an advanced American Joe. That's a different American Joe.
She gets those jokes. Now, my point is she's full-on redneck now.
Eastern Bloc redneck.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
You should hear that accent.
Hybrid.
It's a hybrid.
Well, Alexandra,
you guys are too cute.
Thanks so much for telling us about your job and kind of your life's journey, because that is the quintessential, I feel like the American dream, right? You come here with nothing, and you work your way up to a small business owner.
Yeah, but through that, you have to persevere. There's some scary things. You have to take some risks. You have to do some things that, you have to ride in a car with two men you've never seen again to a day's end. Sometimes you got to ride with two men to a day's end, and then they disappear.
And most people have all the opportunity in the world. Can't be a small business owner. Their parents are paying to give you money, college, whatever.
Some
They're
people's parents give them everything, and they do nothing.
That's the worst for you, I think. But it's so much easier. Man, if you just grow up with rich parents and you start working.
Do you sometimes you wish you had grown up with rich parents, or do you like the way things are shaken out?
I do like.
Yeah, see?
But it's so much easier.
Do you know when that's a real thing though? When you go around the world and you ask people in other countries, and then you place it up against the happiness of Americans. There was a study I want to say 3 weeks ago where they were talking about how most people that have it harder, that have to persevere a bit more, always are happier than people that are just gifted. You know, they're just like, I'm miserable because I do nothing.
I know, but it just doesn't seem right. It seems like the other way is way better, right?
Yeah. It seems
like
like
your story is so hard. Like you're gonna
look how happy she is. That beautiful family.
Kissimmee days into like business owner and fancy.
They got the double business.
Yeah, and actually, my parents also migrated now. They just came in end of the June. I'm sorry.
January.
Yeah, January.
So
yes.
they've only been here like a month or 2 months.
Yeah,
whatever.
2 months.
Oh my God! You got to get them some Confederate shirts.
They run them. That's where they make them.
Joe is so terrible. My God. Hey guys, thanks so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. Thanks for telling your story. We hope we get to do it again. Now, where are we at? Are we on hobbies? Are we jobs? Or are we doing it all?
Hey, we're going back
Taking
and forth.
all covers. Taking all covers.
Yeah. I like a mix of both. I feel everybody's got an interesting story. Every job is interesting enough. Because it's all weird. Like Joe's job weird. Everybody's jobs are weird.
Yeah, Joe's is pretty good.
I like my job.
All right.
But it is weird.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more corporate time. So for men though, like if you have these, like like we talked about the Auto B.
You can't say it now. Auto B? Who's that? A rapper? Is that a new rapper friend of yours?
And then the stroker and stuff. Like,
he can say stroker, but he can't say auto blow.
Where do you keep this? Do you keep it in
your freezer,
in your nightstand?
Like you keep it in your freezer, like your vodka.
Like where do men stereotypically keep these things?
Oh, like in an old ammo. I have an old military issue green ammo box that my dad kept on the shotgun.
You got to have a pleasure chest.
Pleasure chest. Oh, wowie.
Pleasure chest.
Pleasure chest. My God.
Where do you keep your pleasure chest?
Duffel bag. In your closet, under your bed, wherever you have room.
A butt pirate never tells you where he keeps his pleasure chest.
Because I, at one time, from Fairvilla, had a fleshlight, and
oh God, he's bringing it up again. This is 20 years ago, by the way.
And I hid it on the top of my closet, like where where most dads keep their guns, or like the highest shelf in my closet, and I kept it up there. But I feel like the heat got to it up there. It wasn't good for it.
That's not good.
Heat rises.
Yeah, it does rise.
So at the top of the closet is like all this hot
up there. It was like having it live in Guatemala.
Yeah. I used to keep my marijuana candies up there and melted them all.
And then
why is your closet so hot?
Dripping down into your shoes.
And so I, pleasure chest. Should every man have a pleasure chest?
I think every person should.
It's just a shoebox with a pillowcase in it. And you throw all your toys in there, right?
That could be it.
That works. That works.
I just don't. I don't think Andrea's not like mine. She took all the stuff and she puts it in my drawer. So like my womanizer's in my drawer. Like it's all in my drawer.
So like all the incriminating
everything's
stuff
in my drawer.
Incriminating?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like if anybody look at it, they're like,
this guy lies. Look at this guy.
We do sell some really amazing toy storage bags where you can actually put a lock on them too.
I need a lock on mine.
Like, because it's, I feel like no matter how sophisticated you are and adult you are, like you see this and like your
you laugh a little bit. Yeah.
You're like,
these goes
you're immature.
But you just look at it like, but
right?
Yeah, because they're babies.
Yeah, because they're babies.
Sorry, Deborah.
Speaking of which, I had.
Oh my gosh, she's got a baby. Where'd you get that baby?
It's a toy storage bag. Anyway,
and next up for 420, we are actually selling weed. There's a little bit of weed.
Nope. Not today. But that was kind of like my assortment. I do want to talk about if you want to do a little adult Easter action.
Okay.
We've got some items for that. But this was just truly a sampling of what we carry on that whole 420 section.
And it's
so
not
come and
even,
check it out. It changes all the time.
Yeah,
too.
it's not even the tip of the iceberg as far as the amount of stuff that they actually have, because you could not bring all of the novelties in here. But yeah, what else we got?
So we talked about Tanka Eggs.
Yes.
They actually have it on our marquee right now at the Orlando store. They released some new ones. So new patterns on the interior of the sleeves. They're really bold, very cool. Would make a great adult themed Easter basket.
Great. I don't know if you guys use these, but we've had tons of listeners. This is the second to the Auto Blow, the second most talked about product we have.
Yeah.
Are the Tanka Eggs, which you can reuse them. It's like a little latex stroker deal going on, and the price point is extremely reasonable, and it's a fun novelty, and it's a purposeful novelty.
Yeah, and it comes with a little bit of lube in there too. So you're ready to go.
Oh, we'll have to add that to the Van family Easter egg hunt.
Yeah. Oh, Tommy, you found.
If you find one with a candy you can't eat inside, that's for Daddy.
Yeah, you found the Easy Beat Egg Curl.
Nice.
What's this one? This one is the mesh. I'm a mesh man.
The mesh.
Yeah, mesh. I like the mesh.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
What's meshy about it?
Once you go mesh, you know it's your mesh. That's what they say.
What's
okay,
next?
let's go. So Happy Rabbit, one of my favorite companies, and I know I've brought some of their pieces before, but they do have a couple really nice kits. This is just like one of the smaller kits that they have. Has a really super cute little external vibe in there. This is like $60. It's all rechargeable when it comes to their products. A great silicone bag to house your items.
Nice.
Also has, what else is in here? A little menthol pleasure balm, which kind of gives you a tingle sensation when you use it. And a super nice plushy blindfold. So these are really fun little kits. They make, like I said, we carry a few of them, but super gifty.
Yeah, and it's not it's not certainly too aggressive or crazy. You know, it's kind of just middle of the road.
Let me ask Samantha a question.
No.
So
thank you, Deborah. Oh, this is super nice.
Every time we, there's a blindfold involved.
Oh, check that out. You can lock it right there. See that?
Oh, okay.
So you go there and you put like a little TSA lock in there,
Yep.
and then nobody's touching your stuff.
When I see the blindfold, I think like Samantha.
What?
This you would be too paranoid for the blindfold.
You don't
right?
know that.
No.
No.
She's with her husband. It's not. I mean, she's not gonna blindfold herself and throw herself in an Uber trunk. But
would you?
I trust my husband.
No, I know. But what if something what if it, you put the blindfold on, he ties you up, right? And then,
now we're tying up as well. Okay.
Well,
what kind of fantasies you got going on over there?
I think it's part of it, right?
This is what
Not
you think about. So when Deborah comes in and you're like, I'll see the blindfold.
Holy smokes.
And I think Samantha blindfolded tied up by her husband. This is what you think of.
No, I don't think of it. I'm just thinking.
You said.
Certain people, I feel like, would be too paranoid to be blindfolded. Like, my wife's a paranoid person, so I feel like if I blindfolded
he's trying
her.
to see if the wife will do it.
And she
do you
would
want to blindfold her?
Yeah, I mean, I want to do any of this. Because it's all
it's fun.
Extra.
But you hate fun.
More. Yeah. Well, no, I like fun. I just don't do it because, it's hard for me to imagine myself doing the extra effort to add some of this stuff in there.
Okay.
But I want to do it because it's something different that I've never experienced. I mean, I experienced some of it.
Which one? The experience, now that we're talking.
Why don't you walk us through your experiences, sir?
You want to know about me getting tied up? Let's see what you've been doing.
Yeah, what do you do?
There you go.
I don't know, I'm just saying.
No, he's fine.
What do you do? Why do you do that? Why are you freaking out?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
You really don't like to talk about that stuff, do you?
No, it just, I get uncomfortable,
Okay. That's fair. That's
because
fair.
I can only talk honestly, and the truth is...
We'll set you free.
Or get one really.
All right, what do you got here? This is, because that's beautiful.
It's a
It looks like a karaoke microphone.
I know, right? Limited edition by Lawan, which is a high-end wand manufacturer. It's it's a mini size, so it's a little more compatible, or easy to pack and take wherever you want it to go.
Is this like a Hitachi styled?
Kind of, yes. And of course, I may not have a charge on this one. I just grabbed it real quick from the shelf.
Yeah, it's really nice.
The whole idea is it's got really beautiful blue shimmer in it. We have so many cool special releases that we bring in just for seasonal efforts. We've got some other small wands now in beautiful spring colors. So, but it's got sorry, I couldn't get it running for you. But it's a silicone top to it, so it's soft on the very end of the product. It's rechargeable and a really wonderful gift if someone that likes something that sparkles.
Yeah, and you want to upgrade a little bit.
Yep, upgrade your wand action. So that's a beautiful blue.
As far as the history of vibrators go, is it true? I can imagine
that's
that,
like the classic, right?
Well, did it start where they were marketed as like personal massagers? Because no one talked about like, pleasure or sex in the 50s.
My mom and dad had one, but
they're big white wands like this, and they were like, "Hey, massage your back," but everybody knew what it was for, but they didn't talk about
legs,
it.
My back.
Well, the magic wand has been around for really one of the, as far as consistently, for a very long time. And they now make a plug-in edition, rechargeable. They also just released, and I'll bring it in next time, is a mini version of the magic wand, and it's rechargeable. So you don't have that huge honking wand. If you want to go travel, it wasn't always compatible.
A cigarette lighter adapter.
Yeah, so I'm real excited about that. So we just got it in, so that's going to be fun. And then, lastly, if you want to throw something else into that basket, we have the aphrodisiac chocolates, and I did bring one of 3 different flavors, so you guys can keep them.
Let's all eat these and then see if we 69 ourselves to death.
What is? I wonder what the ingredients are that.
They it's a Spanish fly. It's always horny goat weed, Spanish fly, ginseng, ginkgo biloba.
Eat one and see what
dark
happens.
Chocolate alone.
Yeah,
is
sometimes it's just dark
bomb.
chocolate.
But yeah, ginseng is in here. There's saw palmetto, yohimbe.
Oh, that's good for my prostate.
No,
Saw palmetto,
passion flower. So yeah, there's you can read their little blend that they have in there.
I like
but
that.
So if we're looking to kind of add some unique chocolate to that basket, I would recommend those.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like the suggestion. It's nice if you're a chocolate. Like, for instance, if I give her chocolate, she's like, oh, great chocolate. If the chocolate actually says aphrodisiac chocolate, she knows where I'm going.
Yeah,
you know which way the boat's pointed.
You got to plant the seed, inception. Earlier on, that's usually with me and my wife, it's...
yes.
I'll go to 7-Eleven, get your wine, but you know what you got to do.
Yeah.
And you better not pass out on the couch.
Yeah, I'm going to get Yellowtail.
I'm just laughing because it's 7-Eleven.
But if I get the Yellowtail, it is the big jug.
So what's that, Deborah?
And
those are panties.
If you're gonna if you want to do something really nice,
those are headbands.
That could be a headband, but no, these are just we now have this beautiful assortment of colors.
Yeah.
We have whole panty tables in all of our stores, but we just got these really cute little cheeky ones. But we have a ton of new apparel and all the spring colors. The really beautiful, bright.
Those are great.
Yellow is a big deal this year. Orange, the teal. So stop by the stores because those fashions change out seasonally. So if you haven't been in lately, there's more arriving. I know we have more coming in May. So definitely want to add that to any kind of gift that you might be giving.
Tom Van, have you ever purchased your wife panties?
I have not. And
I have.
Part of the reason I don't understand them. That's it.
You sounded
like I don't know. Is that one good?
More and more, you're convincing me you're a robot.
I do not understand love.
Like what?
What are these panties you speak of?
Why would you put a small piece of hold-filled cloth on your
one leg
genitals?
in each hole?
No, but I don't know what kind is best or what kind
What do you
she
mean?
would like better.
Look
like
at what. Take note.
The top, the bottom, the middle, the back.
Look at what she wears and take note of the times when she's wearing something and she says, these make me feel confident or I feel beautiful. And then you go and you buy more of those.
I just don't know which ones those are. And there's all types. And
there are all types. I will give you that.
That's why we have a staff to help navigate that.
But sometimes my wife will go to the mall and she'll be like, I got a coupon from Victoria's Secret in the mail and I got to go in there and get a free panty.
Get my free panty,
and she goes to the free panty card and she puts a free panty card down there like you can only get the ones that are gray that look like the bottom of the ocean.
Out of season ones.
Period panty. You got to buy the gray period panties. The big, fat, thick boys. And they're like canvas. They're like canvas panties.
No canvas panties at Fairvilla.
Yeah, you got the pretty, sexy
We got
panties.
the pretty, lacy,
My wife's panties
stuff.
look like painter pants. They're
All the more reason
they're
to
thick.
go get a sexy pair of panties
My wife
for your
wears
spouse.
like thong, Carhartt thong.
Like, why are
Thick
they
boy.
baggy?
Yeah, why do you have a hammer loop on your panties?
Oh my goodness.
It's a disgusting.
We can correct that. We can correct this. This is we got your answer.
Okay.
But no, lots of great apparel. I can't stress enough to come check it out. I'm really thrilled, and a lot of new body stockings that in bright colors, glow, amazing.
So that's like the new thing, right? The big bright colors.
Yes.
And, okay, good.
Yes.
We need some more fun, some more.
There are multiple locations of Fairvilla. We've got the main big Fairvilla Megastore.
The Megastore.
OBT, a location inside Secrets Hideaway, location on iDrive, location over on the coast, and of course, Key West. You can find it all at fairvilla.com. Deborah, thanks so much for coming
you're very
in.
welcome.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
stopping by.
We'll see you next month. All right, we'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Emails, voicemails,
Where do you want to start?
females,
Email.
males.
Let's start with an email.
All right.
All right. This email is in response to Dan talking about how he wanted to do Dance Dad taco meetups after during the dance competitions.
Yeah,
for his daughter?
so I'll refresh. So if you are a dad in any of these cities, I've got Sarasota coming up. I've got Charleston.
St. Cloud.
Yeah, Charleston, South Carolina coming up. I've got St. Cloud coming up, and then
I think there was one more, but I
there
don't
is
remember what it was.
one more, but it might be tentative. But I'm looking for people that want to go while Maisie's dancing. I get a lot of downtime, and I got nothing to do. I want you to take me on a tour of tacos in your city. So Charleston is spoken for. I think I got a guy. Is that the guy?
This is a St. Cloud guy.
Oh, okay.
Best tacos in St. Cloud is Rancho Chico's. Just let me know when you will be there so I can join you.
All right.
He says he can't be in the chat, so if you
All
want
right.
to
Rancho
save
Chico's.
this,
Yep, save
email
that. And
for
then
Ed.
we got another guy. We got a couple of BDMs in South Carolina that said, hey, if you're here,
your family.
let me know. Yeah, and I'm going to take you around to the best taco spots in Charleston. So, all right, let's do it.
Cool. St. Cloud has really, like, I just remember old St. Cloud where my pop-up lived, and in like that neighborhood.
It's
and
different now, yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff in St. Cloud now. Like even to have Porky's
I almost
Comedy Club
moved
and-
there.
Really?
Yeah, when I was looking for a house. Because they have
To St.
brand
Cloud?
new, yeah, there's like brand new houses, and they're really nice, but you got to watch out for those property taxes.
I'm not necessarily opposed, even though I do love living in the city. Like, I enjoy being kind of like near where there's stuff, like whether it be fast food or restaurants or just humans, or parks.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Sometimes I find myself as I get older, like thinking, it'd be cool to have, something in the middle of nowhere that's kind of more quiet where I could, kind of tinker or drive around in a golf cart or a four-wheeler or something. It's kind of cool. They both have their pros and cons.
Having property has always been a dream of mine.
It's cool.
I'll probably never have it, but
Why not?
Just because I can't imagine, buying
Move
a
out
place.
to Geneva with Jimmy.
Or
Jimmy's got a
I
nice
guess-
spot, man. It's nice.
Yeah, I guess your life changes, so it's like, who knows, in 15 years.
Depends on the phase you're in, yeah.
Yeah.
I think for Jim, like, I can't speak for him. I'm sure we could get him on the show to talk about it, but I feel pretty confident, and I think from what he told me, he didn't like being up on people. Like, he didn't like...
I don't either.
Yeah, and so I could see you being in, like, kind of like a place like him, Like, I think if you lived where I'm at, it might bother you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Although I hit the damn townhome lottery. My neighbors are amazing. I hear nightmares about people like being, rude, or I literally have the nicest neighbors. I know all of them. I talk to all of them, and they're just really sweet.
Yeah,
You did too. We joke around about Tom's cast of characters on his street, but they're some of the nicest humans. Like, you lucked out. It's Sam that usually, I don't know how it's changed, but you were the one that you were like, I don't know about that guy. I don't know about that guy's moving out. I don't know about this guy or that guy. Or was that your old place?
No, it's this one.
Yeah.
I got a new lady. She's crazy as hell.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll monitor it.
I think she wants to go biking around the neighborhood with me now.
And kill you?
That I was out there roller skating. She was giving me words of encouragement.
Oh, I bet you love that.
You got to
Pretty
be
sure she's a crackhead.
like,
I bet you love the chirper crack.
moving is too much of a pain in the ass to me. Like Jimmy he's moved 5 times since I've known him.
It doesn't matter to him,
and he's fine
tough.
with it. Like,
he's tough with moving.
And then he'll move to a place, redo it, spend 5 years,
And flip it, make some money,
and then move to another place. Like we redid our.
He must have ADD as well, right? Because that's manic.
No, he's fast.
I think he moves on to a next project. Yeah,
Yeah. So he gets sick of it. He goes on to the next.
We should get him on to talk about it, like to talk about like the redoing of the houses and stuff like that. That's a good idea.
But like we redid our entire house, and I'm like, it was
time to move.
No, it was so much work that I'm like, we're dying in this coffin because this. I'm not doing this again. Like in fact,
not until that crow gets at you.
I made a vow. I was like, never again. This is.
Oh my God! You made a vow. You never make vows
because it was just so much work that I'm like, I'm not going to move to another place and I'll do it all over again. Right. Jimmy's fine with that.
What if you move to a place that has everything you want? You don't have to do any renovation.
Well, it's kind of
it's hard though because there's always something that you want to change to your personal.
It's like getting a new position and you're the new manager. You come in and you scrap everything because you need to justify your job.
Yeah, hard to find a house that has everything exactly the way you want it. Like, eventually you're like, I want to move this around or change this, and it's like, all that's a pain in the ass.
We've held off on a lot of the stuff that we were going to do. Like, we did our floors, and the plan was to do floors, and then do cabinets, and then but then we did floors, and then we paused for a little bit, and then pandemic, and then it's kind of like, well, are we going to sell this? What are we going to do here? Well, let's just hold out. And that's how things get dated in your home, right?
Yeah.
Where you hold. And that's where we're at right now. All of my fixtures, all of the little knobs in my home, they're all 05, 06. You can see it. But I can't justify like gutting it and doing everything when Andrea's like, well, do we want to find a new place? I'm like, I don't know. We can't find anything now.
Yeah, right now it's hard to find.
Yeah, so I don't
unless new construction.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in that.
That's what everybody's saying. It's like new construction is the way to go, and they are building anywhere they can. If you look around, every little like woods, like that 3 blocks of woods is being torn down to build stuff on. Like any sort of like lot for sale. Like I used to see a lot more lots for sale randomly. Like these are some woods for sale. Like they are trying to build wherever they can.
Yeah, I saw one the other day. This was interesting too because I thought this was sort of funny. I saw a house where the sign actually went up. It said for sale, and I'm like, oh my God, I never see for sale signs because they usually go so fast. The next day it was gone. I thought that was funny. I was like, it made it one day. Probably didn't even need to be up. It was probably going under contract as that young boy had been, given the job to drive out there and put the post up. And came down the next day.
Yeah.
I got a voicemail. You want to run with this one?
Yep.
It's about the topic of chirping.
So I'm going to go back on Tom's side of stop chirping because I've been going to Publix a lot lately and they've been chirping a lot. And so I've been trying to chirp back, and I just happened to roll through a KFC. And this KFC girl sounded like she had an accent. So I asked her, I rolled through, I thought about it, I didn't think anything, and then I asked her, I said, hey, where you from? Because she had such a heavy accent, or at least I thought was an accent. No. Then it turns out, I said, hey, where you from? Oh, Sorrento, down the road. And then I realized, no, that's not a British accent. That is a special needs accent. And I felt so stupid.
That's what you get for chirping.
Well, wait a minute. What the guy's admitting is that like he can't talk to like a special needs person. He's like, I thought you were British, but now that you're special needs, like I don't know what's happening there, right? Like,
no, he embarrassed himself because he thought it was an accent.
Well, who did he embarrass himself to? Himself?
Yes,
he didn't.
That's a Tom.
He didn't embarrass him to the lady. The lady doesn't even know.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Yeah, she don't know. So don't worry about it, man.
Tom
You're good.
Embarrassment.
You're good.
Let's do another email.
Oh, so we recall the voicemail about the goat, correct? Where the guy, was hitting a goat.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Goat.
Now, most people decided that with the goat story, they were like, not real. This guy was trying to shock jock and be crazy.
This is he's defending himself here. He says, I hadn't realized that people were going to think it was animal abuse This was a mega huge 160-pound Nubian stud billy goat. He was a total a-hole and would go full speed, ram his head into stuff for fun, and chase me and my kids, trying to F us every time he broke out. The whole thing did teach him a little respect. He never tried to F with me again after that. So he's not saying he didn't beat the goat.
He's doubling down a little bit, right? Like he's saying, I did beat the goat.
But he was a big goat.
But me and the goat were friends, and he was a large goat.
And he learned his lesson.
Well,
I don't think goats learn I don't think that goat's like, oh, man, I really learned
not do that.
I don't think that's how goat logic works.
There's a video on TikTok that the Van family likes to watch together.
Should I pull this up?
Yeah, you can pull it up.
Oh,
Look up Cram the Goat.
Cram the goat.
Yeah. And it should, there it is.
Oh, you and I used to watch this.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I'm familiar.
Yeah, this is a third world sadness at its finest.
Now, the popular one that we like to watch as a family is a guy doing voiceover.
Oh, Tony Baker, the comedian.
Oh, is it Tony Baker?
I think it is Tony Baker. Hold on, is this the one?
Bike up out of here, man. Cram.
Yeah,
this is Tony Baker.
And every time the goat rams one of these people in some sort of village, he is saying cram. And this goat is on a crazy warpath to headbutt as many people as they can. People are running from them. Like some guy tries to kick it.
Yeah, here's a little cram the ram.
Get your bike up out of here, man. Cram. Nobody want to see your little punk bike, man. Get your little cram out here with your lavish bike. Thinking you better go. Okay, all right, you dodged on that one. Kudos to you. Oh, you think you gonna ride off into the sunset? Just cram. Feel every piece of these rams.
All right, there you go. There's cram the ram.
Yeah. So me and my sons, we started running around the house, headbutting each other, screaming
Yelling cram.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that goat, you could kick that goat as hard as you can, and it's not going to care.
That's true.
Yeah. That thing is a wild, tough ass animal. My wife does this all the time, where she looks at wild animals and she puts her own emotion into them. She's like, that turtle or that bird is feeling pain to the hook in his beak or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that bird doesn't. That bird is hard as hell. Like it's lived this life in the wild, eating like it almost died every day of its life.
The bird,
the bird has almost died every day. You know how hard that will make you? That bird doesn't care about anything. Like it lives every day to survive, and that's it. So you could put it through a lot, and it'll be fine.
Cram.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
cram exactly. You want to do email or voicemail?
Voicemail.
All right, let's go with. I thought this one was pretty interesting.
Hey, Tom and Dan and Sam. You guys have been talking about, like, bands and music, like, in school and stuff like that some lately. When I was in the junior high, like 6th or 7th grade, everybody at my small little school had to take, like, band for a year. And you had to be, like, in the band. And I was just wondering if this was anything like Daniel's experience in the band, but our band director would assign everyone the instrument he thought they should play. And I wanted to be cool, sexy sax man, but he looked in my mouth and said that I had trumpet teeth. So
You've got trumpet teeth. Get over there.
I don't look that up, Sam. See if trumpet teeth is like an actual thing. I pause it there. He continues.
Play trumpet like Mr. Tom Van and his old band, the
heterosexual lesbians.
The heterosexual lesbians.
There it is.
But what I found interesting, and it reminded me of this when you guys were talking, was I feel like our band director was horribly sexist or something like that.
That's possible.
Because everyone who played a brass instrument was a boy. Everyone who played a flute or clarinet was a girl. And saxophone was like split 50-50.
No.
But it was all like the nerd drama kids were playing the saxophone.
No, you're okay. He will continue. I pause it. He's a little bit wrong. I don't believe it is possible that your band director was sexist. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, like, what are the odds? I mean, there are a lot of sexist people out there. But I think what you're describing are the natural odds of the instruments. Most brass instruments that I saw played were boys. Brass being your trombone, tuba, trumpet, stuff like that. Most of your woodwinds. Your let's go with saxophone, would be split 50-50. You'd have a lot of guys and a lot of girls. Most of your drummers, a mixture of like kind of rough around the edges D-heads and punks.
Yeah.
Like
mostly dudes.
But some girls, you know, the one. If I'm just being real, you'd get the girls in there that might be a lesbian, might be an outcast, might be a, you know, somebody that got picked on a lot. But she'd be in there. We had a lot of drummers that were like the outcasts. Let's see, what else? Flute, well, all girls, mostly girls. You did maybe one dude, but you knew he was gay, right? You knew he was, and it wasn't about. It wasn't. We didn't pick on him. It was just the gay guy is the flute guy. It's no big deal.
My wife played the oboe.
Also nerds.
Yeah.
So according to hornmatters.com,
Horn Matters.
This guy says that he's observed that players with the easiest, almost freakishly easy high ranges have either a slight gap in their teeth or crooked teeth. In either case, it seems to allow a slightly freer vibration of the lips when they are in the formation of making the highest notes.
So when you have,
I'm gonna start calling
teeth. You got good trumpet teeth.
I'm gonna start calling people with crooked teeth. Trumpet teeth.
I got Dizzy Gillespie over here. Hey, look at Louis Armstrong.
That is interesting.
I had no idea your teeth or like even your lips.
Oh well,
really
obviously,
mattered.
yeah, your embouchure.
I know,
the gap in the front teeth.
It's called
may
your
help
embouchure.
Trumpet playing.
Yeah,
says.
like with flute, you've got to relax your embouchure in order to get that. You know, when you're blowing over that little hole in the flute to make the noise. You know, same thing with trumpet. You need to vibrate your lips. Your emboussure's got to be correct.
You know what's okay? When I too had to pick an elective when I went to middle school, and I picked band, and I remember, and this is one of the only memories I have of like being a child. But I remember like going to the orientation night from like 5th grade to 6th grade, and then in the orientation they had all the electives you could pick or whatever, and like band and like something chorus,
yeah.
And then in band, like then they allowed you to like fill out the form, like you pick this elective, and then you can put what instrument you wanted to play.
Right.
But is it like? And I have a lot of friends in like the military. When they join the military, they
evaluate you.
Well, they let them like write down where
your top 3 places. Yep.
Yeah. But it doesn't even matter. But it doesn't matter what they write.
It's not guaranteed you're going to get that.
No.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even know if they look at it. And like all my friends later on,
it's just false hope.
Yeah.
It's to make you feel like
you could go to Hawaii.
Yeah, it'll make you feel like you have some sort of control.
Right.
So is it like that with band? Because I imagine a lot of kids are like, I want to play drums because they're the coolest, and like we're giving you, trombone or whatever. Yeah, I picked trumpet, so I got that. So, but if I picked drums,
they tried to say you had.
You probably would have gotten drums.
I don't know, because I feel like most like boys, 5th grade boys, were like they're going to pick drums, right? Like just because it's cooler in their mind than the other instruments.
Most of my friends were drums and trumpet, and then like.
But then, did they give you like an audition to see if you can even keep a beat, or no?
Well, it's at beginning
because we had
band,
people in there that were bad.
Yeah. And then when you start, everybody's
I never
the
did
same
band
level.
so I don't know.
What electives did you choose?
I did chorus in 6th grade, and then I did home economics, and I did woodshop for 2 years.
Oh, the first 2 made sense. The third one threw me off.
The wood shop? Yeah, make our own dildos.
Out of wood.
Yeah, make a wood dildo.
A lot of splinters.
Yeah.
I know they had...
sand them down.
Like, and that was in middle school?
Yeah. Which is insane that they let us use those type of saws and stuff.
We had
and
that.
like
we didn't have that.
There were times where like kids would chase each other around with sharp objects, and I'm just like,
we had a kid cut his finger.
Yeah.
And so, you'd have
my
stuff like that
woodshop
happen.
teacher didn't have a pinky.
That's a good sign, though.
Yeah.
I feel like he knows his
He
way.
learned his lesson.
I'm like this guy knows.
Like
that guy
the goat.
knows. Yeah, he knows.
It didn't seem like we had any of that wood shop or like
maybe just because you
automotive.
didn't pay attention.
Yeah, it was probably that. Yeah.
Because like we had wood
It
shop.
seemed like Miami is a big, there's a lot of
money
kids.
down there.
I did ceramics, photography. I did a bunch of different stuff.
ceramics was dope. I very much enjoyed.
A lot of bongs. A lot of ashtrays.
Come to think of it, I guess those were bongs.
Yeah.
I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. You got one more email for us?
This is Ouch Couch Airbnb Sessions. Good morning, friends. A few of us in the Twitch chat, sorry, Angry BDMs, were so in love with Matt Woods the other day that we were throwing a few ideas back and forth. We'd love a recurring stripped-down musical segment, NPR Tiny Desk style. Then I thought, what if we could have videos of the T&D community too? Like an area in the Airbnb that allows people to record themselves giving a review or almost a video guest book, trying their hand at recording a micro-segment for the show, or even showing off their own talents and singing or performing if brave enough. Granted, there will be some interesting attempts with all the watering holes nearby, but could create a new Best B&B Blooper Award at the end of the year. Just a thought.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of. I like that. I like the
ideas
idea,
are great.
Yes.
Listen, and then,
it's executing the ideas.
Having a tiny area of like a record your own studio in our Airbnb with like some sort of camera, and then it goes straight to us. Kind of like, remember America's Wackiest People back in the day?
Hold on a second. America's Funniest People with Dave Coulier,
yes.
and they would put the box at any mall.
Yeah.
And I wanted my mom and dad to find you. I was like, Mom and Dad, you got to find this box at the mall, and I got to get in there. It's my big break. If I can get in front of this, if I can get in front of Dave Coulier's mall box, I'll be a star.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if people could broadcast or show their talent in our Airbnb, and it gets directly uploaded.
Oh, they'll be showing their talent.
Yeah. All that
be a lot. Yeah,
an extreme amount of work, like to even attempt to do that.
Well, you can do it on your own.
We're trying to rent it out, so
weeks.
We'll lose money.
We're trying to even just get it up and
Break
going.
even.
Like my wife's over there getting the last curtains up, trying to get.
Oh man, you got her doing that.
Part America's taking pictures right now.
It's a mad rush.
We got to upload them in enough time tomorrow to try to get it up. We're not going to do
Spaces. We got to finish before Ty Pennington says it's over or we don't qualify.
I don't think by the time we get the photos back, getting it up, I mean, it's going to be like, rent this for tonight, 1 hour. I don't know if we're going to. So
get out. We got more people coming.
Anyway, ideas are great. Just say that, but it's nearly impossible to execute.
But not a bad idea. And on the second part of that idea, as far as getting more musical guests to come in here or maybe do a Tiny Desk styled content for the show, we're going to do that. We'll do that for sure.
And we can get musical guests to come and perform and then record and put it like that we can do that. Like we've been training for that for 12 years. Like we got it down.
Yeah, but the Airbnb thing, I mean, as it continues, we'll figure things out. But that's not a bad idea. It's just hard.
Yeah. And it's like we've never put together an Airbnb before, so we're learning as we go. And there's lots of information online, but you when you start putting everything together, you're like, oh, the lock doesn't work like what we thought, or the Nest AC keeps going back to eco mode, and Crystal can't figure out why it's like hot.
Oh, that's what ours does.
And then
I haven't been able to figure that out in 6 years.
And so all these little things that we're trying to like make perfect is it's a lot of work.
Yeah, but good suggestion. And look, all suggestions, all ideas are welcome. Absolutely. That's it.
Yeah,
we got to get out of here. Is there anything to plug?
Well,
because this is Friday. I mean, next week is going to be BDM appreciation. So
if you're not a BDM, sign up at tomanddan.com. And again, make sure your address is correct at tomanddan.com. But we are going to be doing way more BDM only events coming up, and lots of other incentives to become a BDM. Find out all the information on our website.
Yeah, and if you have more comments, questions, voicemails that you'd like to leave us, show at tomanddan.com or 1-844-TOMNDAN, or get our free app and just hit the button that says mediocre messages, and we will see you next week.